Hello everybody, welcome, we're back. ELC Full Series is back, we got the major division this time around, and we have a newer face with us, Vicent. How's it going, man? We saw each other in Rampage, it's great to have you on the cast with me today.
I'm actually super excited to actually finally stream with you. I probably watched you about at least like 2 dozen times. Then I saw you in Rampage, I'm like, oh my god, it's Sam Guns. But yeah, super excited to actually cast with you. And we've got a really interesting game as well today. So I'm really happy to do this.
It's going to be a banger for sure, because we've got the finals of the major division today. It's a best of three, as always, here in ELC. And why don't we take a look at the matchup that we've got for today and who our finalists are going to be.
We've got two. If you actually seen the Liquipedia, both of these teams they played each other before, and it was an upset for GSU Team Master. But like we said before the game started, this is it's basically the top dogs of each of their bracket going against each other and re-meeting now in the grand final. You know, it's and we even talked about the maps as well. Now that's going to be some incredible maps, especially some of the better maps for each team. So I'm super happy and super excited for this one.
And why don't we take a look at how we got here? So very important to always look back on the bracket that we've had so far, which as you can see on the screen here, this is a rematch if I'm not mistaken. This is a big rematch coming in for both of these teams. And you can see they've already played each other before. Isn't that right, Vicent? Bembouli. We're almost there. It's also true. It's also true. They got a great acronym as a name. So let's take a look at the lineups as well for both teams. So we'll start with the side of Bembouli, which you can see on the screen now. Basically, full French roster coming in for the side of Bembouli. We talk about this a lot, Vicent. How important is it when you all speak the same language? It just makes things a lot easier, doesn't it?
So much more fluid, and given that both teams are French with a full French roster, the comms are going to be out of this world. They're going to be able to understand each other perfectly clear. They'll be able to know each other's little short acronyms for things, and just basically just get comms going super quick. So it should be super competitive, which is what we want.
So while we've got a second, let's take a look at the side, or their opponents, I should say, and take a look at the lineup that they're bringing. And what do you know? They're also French. We've got two French sides battling it out here in the finals.
Absolutely. Other than GSU Esports, I think that's the OPL, so they've got it nice and sorted. All of them are French again. I have noticed it learns on the other team. I'm pretty sure I saw him in the original roster of GSU Team Master. Could be mistaken, but I know he's going to give Bambouli a little bit of bit of energy going into it and be super aggressive. I think.
Can't wait to see what happens, because two French sides absolutely going to battle it out against each other. And while we've got a second, before we get the game going, why don't we take a look at the maps as well, Vicent? As there you are. Love to see you. We've got some absolute banging maps coming up in the map pool here. And we're going to be kicking things off with, drumroll please, we've got Chalet, a map that we both like watching, a map that's very frag heavy. What do you think of the veto that we've got up ahead for us for this best of three?
Like I said, Chalet. We love Chalet. We can't get enough of Chalet. I'm pretty sure when we was in Rampage, we wanted Chalet. Unfortunately, we went to Border, but we've got that right at the end as the decider map. And we've also got Consulate. You know yourself, you've casted plenty of these games. Chalet is going to be absolute back and forth. Consulate's going to be quite defend decided, but we also can see a lot of attacking prowess from each of these teams. And then Border, another map we love. And I think that's very much like Chalet. Very attacker sided and this can be defender sided, depends on how you play. But as well, it's going to be a back and forth in that one as well. And we both love these maps. Consulate, we could be a little bit back and forth in that one as well, but I think, some absolute perfect maps for this game.
I think so too. As there is the veto, there is us, but I think there's not much else to talk about because we are minutes away. We're seconds away from getting this game underway. As I'm pretty sure we've got everybody in the lobby. We are ready to rumble, and we're going straight into Chalet Vicent. Let's get this game underway.
Let's go. We love Chalet.
We do love a bit of Chalet. Who doesn't like Chalet? It's one of those maps where I think a lot of people know it, a lot of people love it. What is there not to like, Vicent?
You know what? I'm not really sure. I mean, it's one of those maps that's been in the game, I think, pretty much since basically since the start. Everyone knows it. If you've been here since day one, you know it, you love it. It's been reworked, but I think it's come better out of the rework. And there's nothing really you can say bad about Chalet other than how, blinding it is when you're outside or you're looking out for a little bit of a spawn peak. But as you see here, we've got Blackbeard Band and a Mirror Band. I'll say two operators that are pretty terrifying on this map, especially with Mirror on bottom floor, and the Castle and a Grim. But we can't go wrong with Chalet. If someone does like Chalet, something's wrong.
I would completely agree with you, man. It's a map that everyone likes. Everyone has good fun playing. But I think the Castle ban is probably the most funky ban, I think, out of the lot. We do see him banned out occasionally, and there's a lot of strats that rely very heavily on that castle. So I think that makes it's just funky, to say the least.
Absolutely. I mean, I think castle is primarily for that, the gym. Well, not sorry, the gym. The games and bar site, as we're seeing here. They do like putting a bit of castle down on 45 and trying to hold 45 as well as top floor. Just try to get as much horizontal hold as you can, trying to make sure that your opponents can't really just get you off all these angles. And I think that could maybe put a stump in GSU's game plan here, but we don't know yet. It's our first match with this team, so we could see really something being pulled out of the bag here. And it's like a magician with a rabbit in its hat. Something's going to come out, and it's going to happen. So
there's going to be some magic somewhere.
Absolutely.
If I'm taking a look at Bembouli's lineup here, there's a lot of carnage in this lineup. Like, we've got the Lion, the Doki. This is like Dream Rush Central lineup, if I'm like looking at this lineup. Like, this just screams to me we're going to be rushing straight into the window here.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that Ying's going to go straight into game's window. You're going to have the Lion Scan going out. Blitz probably going to go through the top black window, or just the small window here. So I reckon as soon as that Lion Scan or Doki call goes out, they're going to rush it.
They're getting ready for it. They really are getting ready for it, and it looks like we're about to send it here.
There we go.
We're just in here. The Blitz is just in. The smoke grenades are going out, looking to get this kit down, but he's getting it domed in the face through the smoke. The kill feed's all orange, Vicent. They're getting murdered.
They don't know what's going on. They completely lost. The intel went straight out for the side of Bembouli, but GSU just shut them down. It's a 2v2 now. A little bit of a thinker stim, but
he's got full info on this guy though.
Full info. Okay.
That's a lovely shot. Oh. It's a 1v1. We've got Dokkaebi on low HP. This is so winnable for the Doki as well with that DMR in hand. He's got to find one little headshot, and this is all over. But surely you favour the one here. It's the impact grenade. We get a Pokeball coming out in the first round. I choose you, and it is going to be the defense to take a very convincing round. But it looked a bit sketchy there in the mid phase, didn't it?
It looked a bit breezy. Looked a bit rocky for Bembouli as soon as he ran in and that blitz died. But the recovery from GSU Team Master, just trying to take the ones. Unfortunately, I believe it was the mute that was inside of stock. Kind of was mid-animation when he got swung by the Thinker, but the recovery on behalf of GSU was phenomenal. Getting those trades off, but the Pokeball, perfection. Perfection.
Cool. It was such a hectic round. Like, first round of the game, first round of this best of 3 series. Why not kick it off with a bunch of chaos? But look at what we got coming out from Bembouli in the next round. It doesn't seem like they are phased by that rush going wrong, But just before we look at an in-depth breakdown, because we haven't quite locked in those attackers yet, what do you make of the defender lineup? We've got a lot of wall denial, a lot of info denial coming in for the side of GSU here.
I mean, exactly like you said. I mean, you've got the wall denials with Cade. You've got the information denial for Solus as well as Mute, and you've also got the anchoring from Azami, as well as the plant denial from the smoke. But you can already read the attacking side, and I think anyone can see they're probably going to make the holes with the Maverick in main breach, sit the glass out there, and probably a rush downstairs with the Blitz and ram above. I reckon they're just going to try and take as much as opportunity as they can to try and get an early pick from the side of Bembouli.
Yeah, I think with the Blitz, we're going to see a lot of this operator coming out as they just want to create some carnage, want to create some absolute pandemonium in the server. As it looks like they're going for a lobby take here. They're getting this vert going, looking like sending the Blitz to go and take library, and this pressure now on the main breach going to make the defender's life just a little bit uncomfortable. But what kind of control do they need? What are those milestones they need to hit to get this execute to work?
Oh, well, they need to, first of all, they need to 100% gain the top floor pressure, trying to force these guys into positions where they really can't do much fighting back, and they can't really do much, they can't really hold areas. I mean, the point of the RAM, as you know fairly well, is to try and create as much panic as you can. And they've pulled that off, but what they need to do now is cement it and get that hold. I mean, you've already seen there's some form of lurk counter going on here to try and find those players who are roaming off site. For example, you now see the armies coming back. You've got the Solus that's currently still upstairs, so they need to clear that Solus.
That's a crazy keeper. Yeah. He's not meant to throw it there, has he?
No, he's made a bit of a oopsie there, but you can see Ram is holding that now, so.
We've got the flank coming in here, though. This just does no. He's got absolutely no info as the plant is just going down. It's a beautiful bait coming in from the Ram, but the plant's got denied, though. Lovely shots coming in from the anchors on site as their plans just fell through the gaps a bit here. But Blitz causing some carnage is just sending it in. They've now got the space.
No, they don't know the Cade's there as well. The plant is going down, and the Ram just said no.
Just was like, no, you're not killing me as well. And it's all down to Lurker in this 1v3. We'll try and find the toes of the Blitz, but now we can stick the plant. The cover is there, and it's Ram to do it all. Gets off the kit, finds 2 for his team. I think it was well worked from the side of the attack there.
Absolutely. I mean, Solus was too busy worrying about possibly Ram being below. Didn't really think she was going to be upstairs on Mez with her, and was punished. You got the site was completely taken with the Mav trick, getting the plant down. Obviously, it got denied, as you pointed out. ZKA did go for the swing, got the plant, but at the end, they cemented themselves into site, and obviously was punished. And as you see now, 1-1, and I couldn't argue you could get a really better attack, especially with the level of team. But I mean, it's going to be back and forth, like we said at the start. So it's going to be perfect.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what round 3 has in store for us as we go again. They're going to try and go for another attack, and especially on a map like Chalet, it's attacker-sided, right? So you need to try and make use of your attacking side. So I think Bembouli in that round definitely found their rhythm a lot better than they did in the first round, and I can't wait to see what this game has in store for us.
Absolutely. I mean, you can always see there is going to be some as well on the other side as a defender. They pulled out the Maestro, trying to get that intel, and as well being able to use it as some form of maybe plant denial. You've got the Cade and the Tuberel together, and we just see a spawn peak. Was it? Was that a spawn peak?
That is a spawn peak.
Rather being shut down by, I believe that was. I couldn't even tell who that was. It was so. I think that was Lurker.
Well, it was a DMR, right? It was on Lurker's DMR that just absolutely executed it. And what a pick to get as well. We're still with VX on this Maestro. They're going to get so much value now, right, out of these Maestro cams when we get later into the round, because now there's just not really a whole lot left. But if we take a look at what Bembouli have got, there is 2 shields reset in this lineup.
Yeah. I mean, Revax pulled out the Montaigne. You've got Conix as well on the Blitz. I mean, we saw Connix already. He's been on the shield pretty much since the very first round. But Revak as well, kind of jumping off the heavy support game to jump on an even heavier support game. And what I find quite amusing as well is they've lost the Bravo. So they can't really do anything about these Maestro cams now. Other than being able to hack, but they can't really like counter them at all. So we could see a very defended side around here.
Well, before they can get to dealing with those Maestro cams, they need to get this breach open, which they finally found the Cade Claw for. But they have the Tabaro, which we just don't see used. And Cade just tucked in here. He should be able to get away with his life. Just about manages to duck in behind this half wall. And this is where we need to use the shields to try and brute force our way through. As Bembouli, they're trying to push forward, but they're getting traded out as they do. And that early pick means that the attack still don't have the man advantage they need or this top floor control.
Yeah, I mean, we've just seen an essential run go down. Doki's probably got one of the best setups on the attacking side. And now it's one main rifle, and that main rifle just picks blue. But we've also got two shields as well. So we need those shields to work together to try and push space. And we've just seen that. They've just taken up the top floor roam, and now it's down to Lurker and VX to try and hold side as long as they possibly can.
And now that they've got these two shields with 40 seconds left on the clock, we need to get the Blitz active. You're basically two guns down against the LMG of the Maestro and Lurker with the DMR, deadly weapons, and they're going to be walking head fast into this crossfire that the defense is waiting for. Monty's going to take damage as they start working their way into the site. Monty's just going to hop on the cams, ready to deny this plot. But as that clock keeps ticking, this is the downside of the shield. The flashbangs raining out to try and get this going. But there's going to be so much info off those Maestro cams. Are we going to let the LMG sing as his teammate goes down? The one gun stacked up behind the Monty. The swing comes in as Crazy finds a 4K in the round to save the round for Bembouli. Insane work off the shields, as what a steal of a round as GSU just caught with their pants down.
Absolutely, caught with the pants down and punished. I mean, they've had the man advantage. They give themselves an advantage straight off the bat by taking out the Bravo, so they can't get those cams from the Maestro. And you've just seen now, as you said, the LMG started singing, but unfortunately the LMG did not find a kill. And that Montaigne, perfect pressure, try and force back the Maestro. They opened the wall, and then you saw Blitz just jump down, and the Thermite just swing to take out the Maestro. And I couldn't see a better execute. That was a good execute with two essential operators down and two shields. And now they're up. It's 2-1 in favour of Bembouli.
I'm really puzzled onto where the Tabaro was, because they just didn't use it to deny the wall up top, but doesn't matter because Tabaro has now been removed from the defenders for these next 3 rounds. And GSU, I think rightfully so, have banned out the Blitz, which we've seen every single round, we said.
Yeah, they brought the Blitz, I think, yeah, it was basically all 3 rounds. We had the Montaigne as well, what we saw last round, but that Blitz was causing issues for GSU. So I think they thought, you know what, if we can't deal with it, let's get it banned, force them onto an operator like Montaigne, who's a little bit more passive, can't really get aggressive as much on the Montaigne as you can with the Blitz. But it could possibly come with a little bit of extra, benefit for GSU for the run. So we could see what's going to go on. But Connix could potentially get far more aggressive on that Montaigne.
We've just seen how effective the shields can be, especially in taking that map control. My concern for GSU is now that we still have a shield available, or our opponents still have a shield available, what do we do to counter it? Do we need to double up with each other? Do we need to get aggressive on the guys behind the shield? Do we need to just basically have confidence and challenge the guys that are pushing behind it? As Bembouli once again finding this opening early, as I think Zaka just getting punished again for these early spawn peaks.
Yeah, I mean, since that very second, I think it was second round, ZKA's kind of been trying to get a little bit more aggressive. I mean, he is on an operator you can get aggressive with. I mean, Valkyrie is one of those who's very flexible, being able to use cameras for intel, be able to walk up behind, try and spot gaps in the attacking side. But as soon as you lose that Valkyrie, you also lose a win condition as well with a Nitro cell. But going back to, like you said, the Montaigne, you're basically just a walking drone. You can walk straight in, ping for your guys, open up areas, and try and spot a gap and coordinate your team. And that's what you see here. Connix is just going, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and warden right there, right at the end of the hall. So we could see a little bit more aggression now coming out of them with this.
That Gon 6 has just hit the back of the Monty, so that's a vital piece of utility as we look to tackle this library hold head on. But this is the power of the Monty. We have managed to clear the shield. We've got to deal with this crossfire. Monty's just going to sit pretty here, relay the information as they find the Azami on Mez. That's one part of that crossfire done and dealt with. There's still another library player yet to be cleared, and Monty's going to be looking to find that player very shortly. Mute's elbow almost giving the game away, as this is beautiful control established from the side of Bembouli.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it. They're already up by a 3-man advantage with a minute left on the board, and now they're that 2-man advantage. Revac goes down to the hands of Lurker, and you can see Luke trying to take a gunfight there with Crazy, gets instantly swung by Slays. Now it's a 4v1 situation. I'll let you finish this one off.
And Lurker's got everything to do here. He's got 4 bodies to find. The flashbang's going to make him full white as the swings come in. He's got multiple angles to deal with. He's got the yellow pink onto one, but he knows he needs to juggle elsewhere. But Slays with a 4k on the round is going to seal the deal for Bembouli, as these guys' Carnage lineups just paying off wonderfully for them, Vicen.
Absolutely. You can see in the hands of Bembouli, they're bringing intel, they're bringing the support, they're bringing those operators that are essential for the attack. The Montaigne, obviously, you see him on the either hands of Revac or you see him in the hands of Connix. And you can see it's going to be constantly, you know, intel. Communication, like we said at the start when we were discussing these two teams, and it's coming perfectly with the Slays and the double up as well. So, I mean, we could see a very dominant half here from Bembouli.
They're already 3 rounds up, right? They've got 3 rounds already. They are definitely making use of this attacking side, to say the least. But this is where, for GSU Master, they've got 2 more rounds to try and tie this map to a 50-50 split. Do you see anything in the defensive lineup that maybe will help them counteract this extensive shield usage, or just sort of hang on to this map control to fight back against Bembouli?
I mean, other than the Iruna, the Iruna is going to slow down the attack. It's very well known. Sending a Montaigne through an Iruna is going to only cause you hassle. But they're not bringing anything to slow down the Montaigne. They're not bringing, for example, frost mats underneath windows. They're not really bringing any, other than the smoke. You're not going to really slow down the attack from Bembouli on the Montaigne. The Azami's not going to help. The Valk's probably not going to help much either, unless you can actually get the Valk cam with the Nitro cell from below. But they need to start bringing stuff to really slow down. You saw when they went first time upstairs, they brought the I believe the Maestro. They brought the Banshees as well from. God, my brain's just gone blank for some reason.
That's okay.
But yeah, they brought as much utility as they can to slow down the attack, but they're not doing it. They're not adjusting as much as we should be seeing, and it's going to cause an issue here.
We look at the side of Bembouli though, they've got everything they need for a backside take here. Looks like they're going to start with this west main area, get Nomad to shut these flanks down, and looks like what's going to be a backside take here. They're going to look to open these walls up. You can see extensive work going in to make sure they don't get flanked. GSU Master, they've got a couple of guys top floor, so they're going to need to heavily rely on these Nomads to make sure they don't become a problem later. There is Valkyrie just sitting, hanging around that jungle area. Capital's got to be really careful here as he looks to support his team and push this guy out of the pillar area.
Yeah, I mean, it was Malus here trying to go on about as well, but you see, they're already trying to open up the walls, trying to get the pressure, and as soon as that wall was open, ZD just pulled off probably the winning kill of this game. They've took down the Montaigne, the thing that's been causing the issues the most.
And now we've got this map control with 1:30 left on the clock. They need to try and find a way to get this boiler wall open, as that Cade Claw is just being a nuisance As Azami, she's going to just be left to cross and picked off for it too. What are we doing, Crazy? Just throw it from cover. But absolutely gets punished as we end up in a 4v4.
That probably is going to be a bit of a thorn in the GSU side. Obviously, Azami is a very good op it to give you some extra cover. And well,
He's just thrown his drone into the electrified wall.
Yeah, the most. It's been a bit of chaos going on. Maybe Azami been picked up trying to deploy her barrier. We lost a drone to the Cade Claw. I don't know what else could go on now.
We've just dropped into sight. The Nitro's going to rain out. This is on the money, but doesn't find anything. We've managed to find the player covering the cross, but the fire is going to give the cover that we need as we walk in behind it. And Capital, you're just him as he finds 3 to just claim the round. My guy just decided, I got it, bro. Don't worry. I got you on the plant cover. Just walked into sight off the back of their utility. And it just seems that Bembouli, they just have all the answers. Although they didn't get Boiler Wall open, they just went, we ball, walked in and killed everyone.
Yeah, Capital pulled out the John Wick play, jumping down, almost dying to the C4 in the fight. You know what? I've had enough. And then he just cooked Valkyrie and then cooked the last defender who was just sat in the corner thinking, guys, I don't know what's going on. And now it's 4-1 now to Bembouli with a very, very strong attack.
They're looking good, Vicent. They're looking really good. And they're keeping it simple as well. The thing that I like about Bembouli is they're taking the real estate that's free. There wasn't really like a heavy presence over towards that trophy side. They just went, cool, we'll just walk the Monty into it, take that space, and then just cleared pillar and we're like, cool, we can go for execute now. They didn't really overcomplicate anything. They had the right tools for the job. They seem to be firing all cylinders at the moment, but we need GSU Master to sort of turn up, basically.
Yeah, GSU is currently asleep at the wheel, and we saw them, they're not really trying to hold as much as they should be doing. They thought, right, we've lost 2 guys here. I think, do we sit in corners? Or do we play back? And then as soon as the Capital decided to go, you know what, we're balling now, he put down the fire, and they couldn't retake. There was no possible chance for a retake. And the plant was going down, so they thought, you know what, we have to do something. And unfortunately, GSU went straight into their trap.
We have got them Lucy this time around, though, which is good.
Yes.
So they've got something to finally slow down this Monty. We've seen a shield every single round for the side of Bembouli. So hopefully that can help them. But I don't see any, I don't think the Malusi is going to be enough. We've got 3 C4s. Maybe that'll be the answer.
I mean, like you said, we've got 3 C4s, we've got 4 impacts, 3 now, but they're bringing the same operators, so they're getting very, very easy to understand. They're not adapting to the attack. They brought the Valkyrie every round, they brought the Cade every round, they've also brought the Azami every round. But they can sacrifice one of those to try and slow down the Montaigne, because the Montaigne is the thorn right now on the GSU side. Like, the Lucy will do something for the Banshee, but only very limited amount, because they've got the Brava to counter it. So we could now see maybe a 5-1 for Bembouli, purely due to the lack of adaptation from GSU.
That's going to be a crazy nade as ZKA gets himself traded with the nade. And the question marks coming out in the chat as well. But it looks like GSU Master, they're doing better to hold on to space this time around. The flashbangs are going to start to rain out to try and sort of take this top floor. But Lurker's doing God's work, holding on to this office area and supported from below. They've got a Nitro in hand to back up Bandit's position, and they're fighting for more map control this time around. Monty's, they're just waiting for this Monty to step forward just a little bit, but Bandit's not going to wait. Ooh. He's going to get active, get a swing onto these attackers as we're in a 4v2, and this is the best GSU have looked so far, now supported by the Malusi as well, but we've seen miracles happen already when we've seen slays behind a Monty, as Bandit, he's just chill in office. He's raining through in this area, and this is where Bembouli, it's got a bit wrong, as somehow we've not killed the Bandit. Monty's going to look to get aggressive, put some pressure on, but he's just going to sit in the corner and waste even more time.
Lurker right now is the hero GSU need. The Montaigne is providing pressure on K9, and Doki.
Ace?
Doki goes down. Is this it? Oh no! Oh my! They've got the round, but at what cost? They lost Lurker, the hero, the Captain America of GSU. but they've still got around 4-2 split. It's good, but is it good enough, Handguns?
Well, attacker-sided map, right? I think you would agree as being more involved in the strategical side of things than I am. It is attacker-sided, right? I think Chalet is such a frag-heavy map. It definitely leans heavier into the attacking side. So there is definitely a chance for GSU to start mounting the comeback. The only problem is they look a little flat. Hopefully Bandit's kind of lit some fire underneath his team to try and get GSU back into the game. As we do see Mute and Mirror. What do you make of the bans here? We've got a Mute ban is not something you see very often.
I mean, as we saw, shields right now are probably going to be the meta for the attack. They banned 2 of them, but Mirror and a Mute. I mean, I understand the Mirror. I mean, it's one of those, especially with on the downstairs sites, very good to try and hold these long angles. But a Mute is a very, very confusing one because, as you know, going into the next new season, Mute is obviously getting nerfed with a little bit of a buff, but Mute's still not a very strong operator. There's definitely operators on the defense who will probably cause more issues than a Mute. So we could see what potential it could bring, but I don't see really much coming from the Mute.
Leaving, obviously, Bandit and Cade to borrow still open, but obviously none of these operators that we've just mentioned are in the lineup for Bembouli, as they've opted to go for this top floor first. However, even though they don't have this wall denial, I really like the lineup coming in from Bembouli. This is a very good mix between utility and traps. So that way, when the push does come in, you've got a lot of information. And no surprise to me that as these operators get locked in for GSU Master, there is a shield in the lineup.
I mean, absolutely, as you said, the defensive right now, the lineup is a very, very strong lineup. I don't see really much what you can improve on. Like you said, there's the traps coming with the Frost, coming with the Fenrir. You've got the anti-intel a little bit, especially with Crazy being able to, as well as Jaeger, being able to counter all this, the frag grenades, all the, stuns, all the smokes that you could see from a plant. But you've also got the Warden who can counter those as well. And it's going to be a very strong lineup for the defense, but a very strong one for attack with the anti-flank, with the Gridlock, with the Nomad. You've got the Intel operators, you've got the Deimos as well, a very strong one for this side, and the notorious shield from Montaigne.
They've managed to sneak this drone onto the mattress as Crazy has been really careful. He's even use an impact to make sure this drone is cleared, because he's basically been pinned into a box. The position he's playing in, there is so many angles that the attacker trying to use to kill him. You've got this big window, as well as the crossfire from bathroom, and you see where Grim is now on these double windows. Then just to apply some pressure, try and find a freebie. We are going to get the pings coming out onto the player on the staircase and on the owl position. This is where the guys below looking to flush this player out, but Gridlock's going to fall early as the Frost will find a man. Nicely traded by ZKA, as this is just the opening we needed. We find the player on the stairs too.
Word.
There's going to be a trade from the Jaeger as it's absolute carnage on this side of the map, but GSU, they will come out on top, and they've still got the Monty available to try and force out the remaining 2 players from the side of Bembouli.
Yeah, a very strong attack there. 3 people going down for the side of Bembouli within a few seconds, and then the same again with 2 people, 2 of the flank operators going down as well. And now it looks like Jaeger's been putting into a mandatory run mode from ZK from below. The intel is going to be essential now to try and get these kills for GSU. 50 seconds left on the board. I think it's game. I think the plant's going to go down here.
That looks like what Monty needs to do. He wants to get that kit down, but he's just making sure he's got his cover from his teammates. They're now holding that bathroom door. As you can see, Fenrir knows he needs to get active, but Monty's going to take a little bit of damage as he does look to get that kit down. The Deimos ping coming in as well. Now we're going to stick the kit as they've got the control they need. This is a huge gunfight coming in for the side of Fenrir. One he needs to win as his teammate gets shut down. Left in the 1v3. The nades are going to start flying out. They've got constant info. The prone peak coming in from Deimos as they start dueling back and forth. No one hitting anything as he's got it all to do with 30 seconds left on the clock. Can he find anything? Look how disciplined GSU are. They know they don't need to peek as Lurker finds both. And that was really good composure coming in from GSU. They had the advantage, they worked it well, and just made the defense come to them.
Absolutely. They sent the Montaigne in just to get some, a little bit of intel from footsteps, and they just chilled. They utilised the Montaigne as that pressure, and as soon as obviously they started to make some moves, Montaigne would have said, "Hey guys, he's running in. Chill out. Wait for a perfect angle, then get the kills." And you saw that. The Fenrir died first from peeking too much. Then it was left in the 3v1 situation. Soon as he went to try and get some space and get out of that one area, instantly shut down because the Montaigne was so good at his role as basically just walking intel. And they're now 4v3.
The power of the Monty is just like unreal. If there's one thing your average player can take away from these competitive games that we get to watch, even in T1, it's just how good shields are. Especially if you're an IGL, if you're that guy in your stack where you're trying to command your teammates, trying to help them get organised. The Monty just lets you stay alive while doing that. Like, if you aren't a shield operator, you need to be worried about getting swung, which angles going to be aware of. When you're a Monty, you can just sit there and tell people where they need to go. And we've seen both of these teams, VSET, make amazing use of these shields.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right as well. We saw in the Munich Major recently, and you was there for it, you would have had a hell of a time. But you saw Kino and M80, pretty much most of his rounds was on the shield. He's the IGL of the team. Well, he's a shot caller. Hot and cold is primarily the IGL. But you can see shields are pretty much the lifeblood of any attacking team. And you'll see it in most going up to T2. The shields are completely... it's one of those operators where if you bring it and VX getting a kill onto Reflex, and it's one of those where if you have the shield, you have the power. You are the person making most of the comms. And you can see right now, Lulu, the IGL, ZKA going down to the hands of Slays as well. But it's one of those... Lulu is the IGL of GSU. He's on the shield. He's going to be making those calls. He can chill out. He can take his time with all these calls. And now you see he's walking in. He's probably spotted the gap. And we just see ZB back as well, picking up the kills. It's now a 4v2 situation. And Montaigne as well. Take your time. I'll let you take it over so I'm not yapping too much. But now 4v1.
It's just down to Lurker. It's just Lurker left. I mean, they've tried to do the same as they did before, and Bembouli just responded to it so well this time around. And it's just left to Lurker. If there is one guy we wanted to stay alive and to clutch this out, it would be Lurker. He's the top frag for the side of GSU right now, but he's got 4 to find. Getting tagged up on these windows is not ideal, not where you want to be, as it doesn't look like Bembouli want to get overzealous. I say that as Crazy's really fancying himself in this gunfight. He's got 4 players spotted with these Grimbees. It's nuts, as we'll see Pulse pinpoint this guy's position. Pulse is now stuck in this corner. The Nitro will go straight over his head, as Lurker will just try and hold this, try and keep Slays pinned down. He knows exactly where he is, but look at the trap that they've set. They've got 3 different bodies covering this Pulse. Will he be able to get him from below? He's no longer there, has managed to escape this position, but like, what's gone wrong here for GSU?
You know what? I'm not really too sure. We was primarily watching the Montaigne with how he spot the gap, but unfortunately for his team, it was just I don't think there was much coordination. They weren't sitting together. They weren't playing off each other to try and get these opening kills, utilising the utility. And you saw Lurker being sat on that solar window with all those Grimbees. As you mentioned, there was 4 pings going on it, and they were like, "Oh my, what a kill against Slays!" But it's now oh my god, is Frost okay as well? But you see, it's just purely down to the intel, and there was none for GSU, which cost them dearly in that attack.
It is what it is. He's found 2, but won't be able to find the last 2, as that is nicely cleaned up by the side of Bembouli as they get 1 step closer towards that coveted match point, which will take them 1-0 up in this series. And this is not a best of 5 grand final either, he said. Only a BO3. There is only 2 maps to win it, and this will be a huge start for the side of Bembouli to take their map pick.
I mean, absolutely. Getting these 2 extra rounds now for Bembouli will set them up nicely for the coming games. But like we say, it's an attacking-sided map, and we just need to see a little bit more prowess from the side of GSU to try and bring it back into a good 5-5 and potentially to a match point situation. Maybe even sending it to overtime because we love an overtime. But it's just purely down now to GSU to figure out what's going wrong, and they probably need a timeout. They need to bring one, and we could see one if they go to match point.
They're really underrated here in these like lesser competitions. Obviously, we've got the Sporty Contender Series going on right now, but here in the depths of ELC, we just don't really see a lot of these tack timeouts coming in. I think teams are almost like allergic to taking them because maybe they think, you know, it'll ruin our momentum, or like, I don't know, just don't see a lot of them coming out.
Yeah, match point. Well, not match point. Sorry, but you know, taking a tactical timeout is it's one of the essential things. We see it all the time in Pro League, but like I said, you don't really see it here in the T4, T3 team. But taking a timeout just to work on, figure out what's going wrong, what they're doing the same, is one of the essential parts of being able to grow as a team. And they need to do that. They need to spot what's going wrong, what they're constantly bringing, just so they can go, right, we know what to do, we know what to fix, bring this, bring that. But we won't see it because that tactical timeout, you can make a change in your strat and really slow down the other side and really make them think, are we doing too much? And we could see that here, hopefully, if it goes match point.
Fingers crossed for the side of GSU, as they need to do something. They need to get themselves back into the game, and that's a great way to do it, as ZD gets a freebie to kick things off, as he will find Slays, one of the top fraggers, for the side of Bembouli, caught off guard, caught out of position, and what a way to start off the round to get yourselves back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Slays, probably the #1 fragger for Bembouli, and we see another one against Chronix. But we could potentially see now the execute going down. They've got the intel from the Monty as well, sending him in, taking him as the basically point man of this attack.
Monty is just walking through it. I don't think they've spotted Revak hiding in the corner. He's backed up by Crazy here as well. They've spotted him out this time as well. Ezekiel will find a freebie onto that player. Traded though by Crazy with the window peek, as he does find one. But now he's staring down this Monty. He's got something to do. He's got it all to do, as they find themselves in a 2v4 situation. As this game is just ping-ponging back and forth, as the remaining GSU players, they're going to be looking to cut this deficit in half and try and even up the score back to 5-5.
I mean, we could potentially see that Monty's coming down solo stairs, and they've got all the time in the world. They've got an entire minute to try and make a plan here. And obviously, Crazy's had to do a little bit of a walk back in. It's probably exposed himself, but we've got a little bit of calm now before the storm. And we could see that storm really starting to brew in just a second.
And what a shot from Crazy as he kicks off that storm. Will find the head of one, finds the head of the second, as it's just left to him to duel the Monty and the Nomad. This is a situation that you'd want the Nomad and Monty to win, but when Crazy's hitting shots like this, living up to his name with that 3KD, what better player would you want to have to try and clutch this out? Monty is just, he's hunting for him. He's spotted him out. The swing does come in. This will be the ace clutch for Crazy, and he finds it as well. This guy is just insane with the impact, the shots. He's just the absolute legend, stealing it away from the attacking side, as you have to win those.
That was absolutely incredible. How possibly would you let one man just steal your thunder? And to say it, to just use his own name, that was crazy. That was absolutely insane. That 4v2, he already got the kill from upstairs, obviously from the I believe it was the Grim dropping down after getting the frag onto Slays. But it allowed him just to, you know, to mentally reset himself in 2 swings, and then the 2 swing at the end of Monty, not really pressuring him, allowing him for the kill, but getting absolutely shut down by Crazy, going absolutely crazy. That was remarkable.
I mean, what a way to win the round out. They claim match point as well. What a round to do it in. They set themselves up so nicely off of the back of that clutch. As Crazy was talking a bit of smack in the chat as well. And this is what we love to see. He was getting active. He was like, come on, we're waiting for you, stop baiting. And he's taking the fight to them. He's just absolutely cooking. like just going nuts with it. And what a way to clutch the round. I still can't believe it. It was single-handedly clutched the what, 1v5?
It was a, I believe it was a 1v4. He got the kill on the drop from outside of piano window, but getting back into sight, 16 years army as much as it held. But the double swing on head holes really just, I believe it sold in the GSU side. But being able to just kill back to back using the SMG-11 as it's God-given intended, absolutely brought that back. And I think you can agree that was the most remarkable ace you've probably ever seen in this league.
I mean, it was crazy stuff coming in from the guy himself, crazy, as he just took it to him, stuck it to him, got it over the line. But this is where we need GSU to bring it back and get something going.
Honestly, we probably could see GSU now getting a bit worried, going, hold on guys, slays and crazies, doing what they're doing. Slays is slaying, crazies going crazy. And we could potentially see now a little bit more, awareness, a little bit more fear from GSU, trying to be a little bit more careful of what they're doing. And we could see that this round, potentially, if not, we could be going to consulate.
We'll have to wait and see where we end up. And we've got another really interesting lineup, I think, coming in from GSU. We've got 2 different flank watch operators in the lineup for the side of GSU here. Is that needed? Do you think we need that much hard breach in the lineup?
I don't think so. The main issue with this site is the hatches. If the hatches are closed, you're going to need to bring it. You're going to need to try and get a long angle here from obviously what was perfectly pinged here from Tonics on that wall. Try and get a line down, because right now they've got the shield from Clash. Obviously the electric, they're going to slow down the attack. That is what Thatcher could bring here. They could slow, deny that, be able to try and get aggressive. Soulless is being a little bit sneaky just behind the bookshelf as well. And as I mentioned, he's crazy going crazy again.
He's stuck in this corner though. Now that he's given the game away, he's stuck in this position, but they haven't cleared the castle. That's going to give him so much cover in this position to be able to duel these fights. There's no rotate on these feet holes either, as ZK is going to keep the ball rolling, will find a trade back, but VX77 is going to keep it rolling, and this is the GSU master we wanted to see. They find all the frags on this top floor. They shut down Crazy as well. Lulu's going to keep the ball rolling, as it's all left down to the castle, tucked into the site itself. This drone should have spotted him out. And now he's going to be in a very similar situation to the Wamai earlier. He's going to have 4 different angles to duel, as GSU Master looking to collapse onto Castle's position. Surely they don't let him clutch, as Lulu will get a 2k for himself, get it over the line, and keep themselves within touching distance of their opponents.
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen the attack improving. They've pulled out all the stops. They've really figured out what they've been doing wrong, and they've just gone, you know what guys, we need to fix this, and that's what they've done. They've brought the utility essential for the operators, not just going by the strategy, and they just thought they brought the Thatcher for the clash. They brought all the anti-flank watch, and then just said, you know what, do this boys, in full send.
It's going to be a hardcore round to keep themselves in the game. GSU Master, they got 2 rounds back to back to try and make something happen here and get themselves back into the game. Do you think they've got what it takes to get it over the line?
I mean, if they do another round like that, absolutely. I don't fear that they're going to lose another round, and if they do, it'll be by just a short margin. And hopefully they do that, because if they do that, then we could see potentially an overtime game and some more perfect competitive action from these 2 sides.
Fingers crossed. What do you want to see? Like, I want to see some more carnage from GSU. I think they're playing it very by the book, if you like. Maybe we need to see them take a book out of, or play out of Bembouli's book. Get a bit crazy with it. Start bringing out some of these really aggressive operators like the Blitz. Do you think that's something they might be able to make happen to get the game going faster?
I wish we could, but all the shields are banned for GSU. Bembouli's thought, you know what, we don't want them to do exactly what we did. I think what they should do is they should get the book, throw it outside their window, and go, you know what, This is what they're doing. They're playing hyper aggressive. They've got the little flanks. They've got the people ratting in corners, and we've seen that from Crazy because he was sat on bookshelf, and then he decided to shoot open a little hole, and he killed the one who was trying to make the little peek inside of office. So what they need to do now is just you know what, get this, and you've got Lurker now on the zone here. You've got the flank watch, which is fine because they do have the lurks, but they're doing exactly what they did the round before, and that's the only issue from GSU. They're sticking with the strat and not adapting to the playstyle of Bembouli.
And on the bright side, they are trying to make use of this mute ban. Now it makes a lot of sense why this mute ban's come in, because they've been sticking Lulu on the Brava for a lot of these rounds to try and get a lot of value, hack a lot of this utility, which will try and help them out. But if you look at the side of Bembouli now, it's only really the Malusis and the default cams that will give you really good value out of the Brava. Is there anything else you see that will really make a difference in getting these rounds over the line?
If the potential, if Connix is a little bit less worried on that clash, we potentially could see Brava hack the clash and disable the shield. But they've also got the Thatcher just as, a little bit of hey, we need to, get this over the line. Let's Thatcher the shield. But other than for the Brava, there's nothing you can get. The odd BP, but the BP is still in pocket. Maybe the beepers, the proxies around for the slaves, but there's nothing Brava can really do to counter any utility.
Question is, for Bembouli, can they get it over the line here and now to send us into Consulate with a convincing 7-4? Or does GSU Master have what it takes in the tank to get the round and to halve this deficit? They've been battling this 2-round deficit basically back to back the whole game after their not amazing defensive half, and Bembouli have made full use of it, especially with that catch from Crazy coming in. He's now 15-5. He's going to get taken out early though, as that's going to be the Soulless and a very important early round operator taken off the board. So 4v5, it's looking good for GSU as they look to set up pretty much the same way they did the round before.
Yeah, you've seen they're starting to use a Nomad a little bit more, precisely to try and force back the clash. They really try to get some space, get in those early picks. I mean, you saw Crazy go down, and Crazy right now is probably one of the most perfect players on the side of Bembouli. He's been playing really well, playing in those rat spots, getting those early picks. And Refix has just gone insane, just picked up 2 back-to-back, and we could potentially now see a slowed execute. They're going to have to try and take the space.
It's just these bursts of aggression coming out from the side of Bembouli. GSU Master, they can't hack it. Just whenever Bembouli look to get active, whenever they look to get aggressive, they just keep getting away with it, as that's the testament to the aggressive players that Bembouli have. They recognize these gaps, they get active as Lurker. He's living up to his name, lurking around this top floor, but there's no one left here. Castle is going to fall. Zikier doing great work to get active, get something back, but they've still got 3 more bodies to find. The HP is in their advantage as the utility starts coming out. The Nomad tried to use to find this opening as they're going to try and force it down those blue stairs. But look at the patience from Bembouli. They understand we can just sit in corners. We don't have to peek. The sprays will come in. The Malusi's being annoying as well, as there's just going to be no time left on the clock. They've just taken too long as it hits 0. The kit is nowhere to be found. And that's going to be Bembouli taking map 1 and 1-0 in the series. And what a series it's going to be, as now we need to see GSU Master try and fight back and keep themselves alive in this series.
Absolutely. I mean, other than that being an extremely entertaining game with all these bursts of aggression and energy that we wanted, we saw the absolute diabolically amazing ace from the hands of Crazy. We saw the individual hero plays from both of these players on the side Bembouli, Crazy, and obviously I'm sorry, I can't remember the other person's name. It'll come to
GSU Master.
Well, on GSU team, yeah, GSU Master as well. You had the individual players as well, but you saw both sides really bringing out their own play styles. Bembouli being more aggressive, being more in your face, and GSU being a little bit more slower, but also more precise in what they were doing. So we could now see on Consulate being a defender-sided map really coming to light for GSU Team Master.
Sounds good, and we'll be right back after we get map 2 ready, as we're going to give the players a few minutes, take a quick break, get some snacks, get some water. I need some water myself. because we want to have a great evening. So I think we'll jump to a short break and don't go anywhere because we'll have map 2 on Consulate right for you very, very soon. We're back, joined by the lovely Vicent. We've got map 2 underway, as this is going to be our second map to kick things off, and it's going to be Bembouli, who are 1-0 up in the series, Vicent. So this needs to be a big map for the side of GSU Master.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw on the Chalet Bembouli bringing out all the stalls. I mean, crazy, went absolutely crazy, pulling out a 1v4 ace as well. It was an ace and it was a perfect clutch. So we could potentially see a really, really, really important game now for GSU that need to bring out all the stops to win this round.
And if we take a look at these bans coming in from the side of Bembouli, both the shields taken away from the side of GSU Master, they're not going to make it easy, because if we look back to Chalet, GSU Master did make use of those shields, and I think a lot of success they did find came off the back of those shields. So Bembouli did not want to give GSU Master any opportunity to make use of those shields.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw from the first map Montaigne being the absolute perfect operator to take for both sides, giving out the intel, giving out all the little stops, all the pressure as well, and taking him off the board could really cause some issues for GSU. GSU using just as much as Bembouli did.
And it's something they're going to have to work around. GSU are sticking with this mute ban as well. I don't think they got a lot of value out of it on Chalet. So I'm really surprised that GSU have stuck to this mute ban. When we think about cons, we have Cade, Barrow, Azami, Soulless even. There's a lot of like high impact operators that we generally see banned out for good reason. So sticking to the mute ban, I think is kind of crazy coming in from GSU.
Absolutely. I mean, mute is one of those operators that are really good for a few things. One of them is obviously stopping any drone work. The other is also stopping utility. But there's not really much you can do other than that for mute. Obviously, he's got a perfect the SG-11 is perfect. He's got a really strong shotgun. He's got a nitro cell. But you're not really going to see much out of mute. So I'm really curious to why they're banning it.
Maybe because it's the Deimos, especially on the top floor and on the basement sites, there is a lot of verticality on offer. So if we combine like the IQ, which will spot out a lot of these defender gadgets, with the Deimos from below, that could be a great way to get some opening picks and to put some initial pressure onto the side of Bembouli. But if we take a look at the defensive lineup from Bembouli here, Vicent, there is a lot of denial in this lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, it's perfect. It's actually a good thing that you said that as well. You've got the Tachanka, one of those operators who you could just, have sit in a certain area. He's got a machine gun for, he's got his machine gun, but he's also got the Shimika launcher to counter any plants. But they've also, like I said, got the Goyo. They've got the wing conditions as well from their nitro cells, being able to, long arm it, get a Kobe Bryant going to deny the plant as well. So we could potentially see a very slow, delayed play from Bembouli.
And the side of GSU Master, they're going for this admin side over, and they've got some good progress. They've cleared admin, minute and a half left on the clock for this execute, as Gridlock's going to make sure there is no flanks coming in here. The question is, now they've got this control, what do they need to do to make Bembouli uncomfortable? That's something GSU Master didn't really have enough of in the last map.
I mean, the first thing they need to do is they need to get the Goyles. They need to play below, banning the mute. Needs to, they need to use that ban as effectively as they can. So, like you said, they've got the Deimos. Get them to start tracking. The shooting the Goyle, good, but they also can start tracking, pushing people back, and then you've got the vertical play. Like I said, got the kill, so they could go for a plant as soon as that Goyle has gone.
Azami's still playing this aggressive position in the vending machine. She's going to have to start towards backing off as he starts to feel the heat, but she's got this lovely Kiba to sit behind as the initial shots rain out. That clock's going to keep on ticking. GSU Master with about 20 seconds, I think, left on the clock is what it's going to be, but IQ's going to fall as Slays finds one. They're knocking on the door, but Slays shuts them out with two. Reflex is going to find another. Azami's getting active as well, and what a response from the side of Bembouli, almost baiting GSU Master into this close comfort proximity area, as a lovely shot from the Azami is going to clean sweep the side of GSU Master, as Bembouli they didn't really feel the heat at any point.
You're absolutely right. I mean, perfect plays, using, the individual plays, spotting where they just, lacking, where they playing individually, being able to swing them and bringing up it was just an entire, blue scoreboard, wasn't it? It was just completely blue, and there was not really any refrags on the side of GSU, giving basically Bembouli the free round.
after Bembouli let the admin side control go over to the side of GSU, they were just happy to sit on site, wait for these gunfights and take them on their terms, because GSU, they just didn't have enough pressure from below. I don't really think we saw a lot of Deimos usage tracking through the floor. We saw that one kill early, but after that we didn't really see any additional pressure offered, and that's why I think we need to see differently when we see this basement attack coming in. We do need to make use of this vertical gameplay. We've got the buck, Vicent. That's going to be, I think, the crucial operator for this basement attack.
Indeed, I mean, they've got everything they need for the wall. They've got the roam clear as well. They've got the verticality, but I'm more curious what the Maru's going to be doing, because they've completely locked down Piano. If you haven't saw during the overhead view, they've reinforced the single wall. Castle barricaded the small jumping as well from single window. They could be using that top floor to hold as long as they can to slow down this attack.
Well, that's what the Amara is for, just to get in the building, take some top floor presence, as hopefully Lurker has a drone in front of him somewhere, as Solus has no idea, and what a player to shut down as well, as Crazy's going to be thinking, what on earth are you doing there? So that Amaru is a great gamble there, Vicent, to get an early pick and get themselves in the building.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely right. We saw last game, Crazy was one of the star players, probably the MVP for that round. And now we see he's being shut down early. They can't use the soul to deny the plant as well. So they've got to be really careful now. They've got the top floor presence from the book. They've got the top floor presence as well from the Maru. So they need to be a little bit more cautious going into the late round.
I really like this from the back as well. ZKA is going to do his best to try and put some pressure on this mid floor, combined with the Deimos, who just gets his head taken off through, what, 3 floors? Refix from the ground floor has just deleted Deimos, which is not ideal. This is going to keep letting Castle just hang out in this position because there's no roam clear left.
Yeah, it's like finding a needle in a haystack through those 2 floors, but Deimos as well, probably one operator you don't want to lose, because he can sit upstairs and just start shooting through the floor.
This next problem to solve is going to be the Castle holding that mid floor. It looks like he's getting pinched though. There is players in and around this piano position, but I don't think they've got info on the whereabouts, as Castle's just going to sit pretty. But elsewhere, IQ's going to find a pick, get things going, as Refix is going to start feeling the heat through this vertical pressure. But Castle springs his trap, does find the trade back. The flashbang is going to be on his head as IQ finds a lovely piece of action off the back of that flashbang. And GSU Master, they've done well in this situation to give them a really good advantage in this late round.
I mean, absolutely. You saw the Scudder 18 play coming out from Lulu and ZD, being able to flash that castle and then be able to swing as well. Getting rid of that castle, forcing it's the only the 2 people downstairs. We've had picks up the ZD from God knows where.
And down to this 2v2, they will. Revac finds a second. How do we keep letting these slip through our fingers? As Lulu's got 2 to find. Default cam is still up. As Bembouli are just going to sit back, play the waiting game, make Thermite do all the work. These smoke babes are going to stop his advance as well. He's got no utility left. It's going to be straight raw dogging it gunfights, as he needs to try and find something. But both of these Bembouli players, back to back, not peeking anything, doesn't even find the first, as Revac with a 3k out of nowhere to save the round, and they can't keep getting away with it, Vicent.
No, I don't know how it's happening, but GSUs get these advantages and then suddenly just random just start losing it. I think they get all the pressure they need and then just let it go. And I'm not too sure what's going on, Amguns, because it's 2 rounds in a row now. They get a little bit of advantage, get a little bit too comfortable, and then it's get exploited because Bembouli is already prepared, ready for it.
It's just madness, as Bembouli, it is a defender-sided map. They have been given the better side by the side of GSU Master. So GSU Master thinking, if we can just get a couple of attacks, maybe go 3-3, then we can really make use of that defender side when we go to our defense. But right now, if Bembouli, if they keep stacking these rounds, I think GSU's Master's mental is really going to start to waver. As you've got to remember, Bembouli were convincingly winning on Chalet as well, and they're going to have a lot of momentum coming in from the last map as well.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, we've seen that through the last game that Bembouli is extremely good. at what they do. The team play as well. They're always doubling up. They're always watching each other crosses. But GSU also has those moments. We saw with the Thermite assisting the IQ getting the flashback. But it's like they're almost going independent. They all just wander off from one another. They don't really do much doubling up. And we could see really that show coming into the later rounds that the mental could be affected, and we could potentially see that Bembouli is going to get a really comfortable start on Conduit.
They're just being careful of this run out. They understand they're not safe out here on these repels, but they've got early info. Sledge doing some good own work to get themselves into the building. Ezekiel getting active, taking some map control as they need to clear this top floor to then possibly go for a plant later on. There's so much vert available on this bomb site.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen now that they're getting all these castle barricades up, and they want to get this vertical pressure out of the window so they can try and get a plan. But they've got the mirror sitting really far back. It's basically just the top floor all over again. But they need to see GSU Team Master now think, but they need to make a plan. They need to figure out what they want to do. But they're always taking direct, so we could see maybe a little bit of frags going out here and a little bit, you know, pressure now falling to GSU with only 1 minute 45 basically now on the board.
They've cleared the mirror window. The glass has been shattered. They're pushing their way up through long desk. They just need to hunt this opening pick, but it's going to go the way of Crazy as he finds one from that mirror position. That's going to shut down their main entry player, Ash, who is the furthest forward in that projector area, and this is where you just need to force the issue. You've got flashbangs in the back pocket. You need to get active and start to put pressure on Crazy's position as Lurker finds a lovely shot onto Revac. He's not going to be pulling off any miracles from his position anymore, but they still don't have this top floor control. Ace is looking to knock on the door into B-Bomb, but they don't have that top floor control. They might have it now that ZD has found Crazy.
Absolutely. They've got the things they need open. They've got that mirror down now. They've got the one lurking in small box. So what they need to do now is try and figure out where these remaining players are upstairs, if any at all, and start beginning get that pressure. They've got the sleep for it. He's going to start opening up as much as he can. But will it be enough? Will they get the piano, clear around its extremities? And we could potentially see now a little bit of an execute coming out for the side of GSU onto site.
This is brilliant play from the Sledge. Oh, he doesn't find the kill. Will manage to get the shots as Slays takes a lot of damage as well, leaving Castle in the 1v4 with it all to do. We'll find the first. We've seen clutches like this before, but we won't see one here as GSU take a convincing round. Great patience from them in the mid round to put the pressure onto these top floor players, and then using the vert beautifully to finally get around on the board.
I mean, you can't really argue for a better round. GSU's obviously been slipping a little bit, but to get that confidence back now, getting around on the board, especially on a map like Consulate, after using all the drones as well, they got spotted by the Fenris, used the drone, spotted the one in box, they got the window. As soon as they got that top floor, they went, you know what, boys, we might have it here. Let's try and get that pressure going. They destroyed the second mirror that was on just next to Hatch, and then they got the round because of the, you know, you saw Mirror who's trying to do a little bit of a retake upstairs, try and get the Hatch control a little bit, but was spotted by Sledge and taken out. So you can't argue with that.
For Bembouli, they get probably the most ideal, well not quite the most ideal because that would have been a 3-0, but they win the two primary bomb sites. You do see a good attack coming out from GSU on the tertiary bomb site, and if this pattern repeats, we will be looking at a 4-2 split, which is now actually not the most popular scoreline that we see on Consulate. It's really surprising. I don't know if you've seen the figures we sent from T1 a little bit more recently. Consulate's become increasingly more 50-50 since it first got reworked.
I mean, yeah, I did see. I mean, the June Unit Major, you saw it yourself. You were there for that.
I was there.
But you was there. But like you say, it was usually 3-3, and if it wasn't 3-3, it would have been a very convincing defensive side or a very convincing attacking side, especially during the M80 game where they got a 5-1 split. If you look at CAG, before they CAG'd it, it was 5-1 split as well. But every other game, it was 3-3. So we could see a 3-3 here, but we just need GSU to figure it out a little bit more and be a bit more cautious, especially on the attacking rounds.
When we look back, this is going to be a great bandit trick, by the way, coming in. He's done it just a little bit too early as the nade does come in. He's not going to be able to keep this wall closed. This is a brilliant bit of coordination between the Gridlock and his striker to guarantee this wall gets open. So really good work from the side of GSU to get Suicide Breach open early, to get that Projector Breach open. And now they turn their attention over towards this admin side. This is the same push they did last time around where Bembouli completely shut the door on them. But I want to see better use of the utility when we get there.
Absolutely. I mean, Gridlock and Doki goes down. Slays takes a little bit more damage from, I believe that would have been Lurker. Not Lurker, sorry, ZD. But like you said, you just need to a little bit more cautious, a little bit more coordinated, and we could see an attack. But going for the office
default cam.
doesn't really help them. They haven't shot it.
They haven't. That's where the runouts are coming from. That's why Crazy and the side of Slays have been able to get active. They just didn't shoot the default cam.
It's Siege 101, Siege fundamentals. If that happened with my team, I would have been all over it. But GSU need to get rid of that as soon as they can. If they haven't shot it already, but they're going to know that striker's still out there and he's ready to push. And as soon as you see him go off the camera, you know he's in small box and you can easily counter him. I think it's just a waiting game now for that.
They're looking for a pinch onto this player. We've managed to retake admin. Don't know how Crazy he's managed to make it there as he finds a great kill. We are going to be able to sneak ourselves into the projector box to look to get active, but it's going to be VX and Lurker with 5 bodies to find between them. That's a great way to start, as that's going to be the head taken off the Azami, as they've got 4 more to find now. Caster cursed it right there, unfortunately, for the Azami, but as that clock keeps ticking down, Bembouli they don't really need to go anywhere. They're just going to wait patiently for these remaining 2 players.
I think we could potentially see a little bit more scrap now between Crazy and Lurker. I think he's not really convincing, being a little bit convinced to have a little bit of a scrap. Crazy and Slays, but oh my word, Slays just picked up an insane kill off screen, but Lurker picking up Crazy, and Slays just comes out of nowhere and revenge right there for Crazy, and picks up the round win.
And unfortunately for the side of GSU, just the default cam was their Achilles heel.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would they not shoot the default?
It happens. It's late on a Sunday. It is 10 o'clock for, I think, everybody in the lobby because they're all French. So shout out to all of our Frenchmen that are also watching in the chat. I say hello to everyone as well. Thank you very much for joining us. But 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday. Some people might have work tomorrow. They might be, not in the most active mindset, if you like. So it's simple. These things happen.
These things happen, unfortunately, because it happened. Could have given the defending side a little bit of extra intel, which it did, unfortunately. But they may not make the mistake again. They've probably realised, oh, we didn't shoot the cam, guys. Let's shoot it in the future. But now we see I'd say a very passive lineup from the side of GSU, side as well. Primarily Intel and, Purple player able to be on, I'll say it's a bit of a counter, obviously Sledge coming from action. But obviously, an Ella, I'm not seeing Ella for a hot minute.
I think it's about time we bring something to give us a boost. But ZD's going to give us that boost as he takes out Reflex, who tried to get aggressive, tried to go for a bit of a spawn peek. And that Ella that you spoke about just shut down immediately as Bembouli getting a little bit too confident. And now that they've found this opening pick, they should set them up nicely for the rest of the round.
Yeah, as soon as we mentioned the Ella, had to cast the curse, had to come in. But, they're going to get a little bit of space now. They know potentially there's no one on the roof stairs. They're going to try and take directly for the roam clear just to make sure there's no one there. And then they're going to go, you know what, we could potentially go for an execute. They're going to have to get that garage wall open, get the nomads down, get the intel as much as they can and the verticality. But revac on that smoke could really slow down the entire game plan for GSU.
GSU have also dropped a phone as well. There is a Dokubi phone that has now been dropped by the Ella. I don't see Lurker in too much of a hurry to go hack the cams, which could give a lot of value towards the attacking side. Obviously, there is a bulletproof cam on site somewhere as well. So hopefully Dokubi, she can go over and hack that phone to give some more info, as they are going to manually drone this mid floor, which has now been cleared out as well. There is a lurker, however, all the way over towards that Visa side.
Absolutely. I was just looking what reflexes are flicking through during on cams, but a lot of the essential cameras have not been knocked out. They've only just knocked out the the Visa officer still up, but they've got the intel. They can use the sound to try and pinpoint the attack, and Crazy just gets absolutely obliterated by stuff.
Really good drone work coming in from the side of GSU here to find these opening picks. They've got a minute to work with. The hatch is open. They're going to get the breach open shortly as well. This is looking really good for GSU.
Absolutely, just a little bit more slow pace than what I believe they're used to, but they're getting the kills for it. They've got one of the most strongest DMRs in the game off the board from Crazy, but we could potentially see a kill here.
He's going to get the swing. Has he got the audio? Grim does indeed, as the pre-fire comes in, as that's going to be Slays sent to the cam world, as it's all down to Revac and Cade, the two anchors on site. It's a bit awkward between these two as they duel it out. The shots will go Lurker's way, as it's a 1v5, the kick going down. He's being beamed from everywhere, and what a way to cut the deficit in half as they pop off in this basement attack, giving themselves another chance at that 3-3 split.
Absolutely. We just need one more round to make it equal. And I believe during the major it was said, I believe it was from Pirate or Dez, that being on a 3-3 when you're on defense would mean that you're winning, I believe. But if you're losing if you're on attack. I'm not too sure if I picked that up right, but we could potentially see GSU get back into this game, just getting the attacking prowess going down, getting a 3-3 split, and we could potentially see another round. The last map, the border map, one that I've been looking forward to.
I really like that attack as well. Like, from the side of GSU, it shows that they have what it takes. Like, we've just seen a phenomenal attack coming in from the side of GSU, and hopefully that gives them some confidence too.
Absolutely. They use the cams, they use the drones to try and get as much information as they can of each of these players. And we saw as soon as it was at the last man alive, they knew where he was purely down to the drone work. And obviously you saw they swung him, got the kill and the round purely from the intel play.
And I think this is where for Bembouli, they've gone for an offsite as their last choice as well. They are going to be going down to Server and Tellers, which is a site we don't see very often, and this is where they're going to be heavily reliant on those plant denial operators. We've got the Echo and the Pulse in the lineup to make sure that if GSU want to try and get the bomb down in Tellers, there is nowhere safe for them to get it down.
Yeah, it's a very strange site pick, but you only usually see it in the higher tier, tournaments, especially from the likes of Project Zero, purely because you've got the bottom floor and you've got the top floor, and you can use that bottom floor to counter the top floor. Nitro cells, a pulse, as you see from Crazy. But we can see a little bit of drone work going on and a little bit more site clearance, the extremities of site being cleared. And it's pretty much an entire hold on site.
And I don't think Bembouli are going to be ready for what GSU are cooking here. They've already worked their way into cafeteria, but they are going to be castled out. This should be the giveaway. When this thermite charge pops, this should be the giveaway for Bembouli. As what a shot from ZD as he kicks things off. Almost finds a second that they're coming knocking on the door. Castle finds a trade back, however, as this is where they're going to start to stall out as they take this initial control.
Absolutely. Getting that kill, leveling the playing field on both sides. You see the echoes going on, trying to use the fight going on as well. Potentially another kill here as well.
ZD's got the trade though. He's traded his teammate out as we are 3v3 as they are just in the site. It's going to be Jaeger with the new pistol to retake this verticality as he's now looking down on the attackers. We've almost switched places as now it's going to be GSU Master. They're going to have to fight upwards to get into the site as Echo finds one for himself as well. Just left down to ZD, who's absolutely popping off this game.
Absolutely. He was more of a support player last game, but you see he's really coming to himself here. Getting 9-3, a 3 KD. VX obviously not doing too much himself, but he's being on the shields, giving the intel, giving the utility play. Connick's getting and being taken out by ZD as well.
CD just found him through the floor, finally traded out by Revac, but Blackbeard dropping the shield is going to leave us in this 1v1. It's all down to the Jaeger, who remember is playing shotgun. He does not have the range, he's only got the Reaper in his back pocket as VX is going to look to stick this kit, and Slazy he should hear the audio for this. He's going to try and bait it, get this guy off the plant. He should know where it's going down, he's got full info, but now he's got the Blackbeard to deal with it. If he can get close, he should be able to melee this Blackbeard as he crouches the way in, looking to shoot the feet. He doesn't have any ammo left. He's going to pull out the shotgun. This should be free work for the Jaeger, but doesn't find the shot. Finds the shot into the upper chest with the shotgun. Little teabag as well as he clutches it out for the team and gets Bembouli their 4-2 split that they were looking for.
That was a very interesting back and forth. It went 4-4, then to 3-3, then to 3-2, then to 2-2, then to a 1v1. And to refer, Jaeger pulling out the shotgun, you realising the spread could get his legs, could get his arms if he swung out, knocking him, giving a little bit of disrespect as well, a little bit of a teabag to go, you know, a little brag right, but to get the defuse as well, perfect retake from the Jaeger, and you can't really, you can't say anything better. And 4-2, like you said, GSU's really got to pull the finger out and go, we need to get these rounds.
However, the good thing for GSU, they are going to the defensive side, right? They're going to try and have the advantage side in their grasp. If they can get a strong first 2 primary bomb sites in their favour, they're right back in the swing of things. And GSU, I think, have learnt their lesson. They're going to make sure there is no shields available for the side of Bembouli on the attack. Because if we look back to Chalet, Bembouli were cooking, especially behind the Monty and the Blitz. It'll be interesting to see if Bembouli want to, you know, bring out a Blackbeard and play behind that. But Bembouli now have what's going to be the harder task, which is to start getting attacks on Consulate.
Absolutely, and as well, Bembouli's really pulled out some really smart bans as well, getting rid of the mirror, which is less intel. You can't really get swung off it. You know, they have to swing for their lives as well. Getting rid of the Goyo as well. They've less time, you know, less potential on the board for a, you know, a denial of plan, less time waste as well. They're hiding the clash as well for GSU, so we could see a lot of intel play as well come out from the clash. But there could be something going on here for Bembouli to ban those operators, and I think I can tell where it's going.
There's only one place this attack is going, and it screams to me CEO window. The thing that's going to be clutch for the side of GSU Master is they've put a mute jammer right in the middle of the site where you basically line up to throw the C4s to deny the main plant. They've got 2 in the back pockets of the mute and ZD, and if they stand on that mute jammer, the Grimbees are not going to give away that position. So Buck from below, as well as the cover from the windows, aren't going to know that C4 is in hand and ready to deny the plant.
Absolutely. This is going to be a very readable play for us casters. They're going to open up below, get that underneath pressure. If they're going to go for a defuse, they're going to Grimby, they're going to Ying, they're going to shoot down the Nomads to try and delay as much time as possible from getting them on to the defuse. So it's going to mean that they have to go below. They have to retake from below to just, you know, counter the Buck. They've got the intel. They've got all potential plays on the board for this road plan.
I love this ghost pressure too. Look, they've just gone admin side first. They've shown the Ying shotgun is admin side. This is going to pull some of that pressure away from that side of the map too.
Absolutely. Like I said, get that ghost pressure down. Force majeure. It is going in. Ooh,
they're going to bait it. They're trying to bait the C4s. They've sent it into the window. The flashbangs are going to come in. Flash him twice. And he's going to go to the roof this time. They really want to try and bait this up, but they've lost that pressure below as Refix does go down below. As I think now the game is up. They've got that full vert control. They can't jump in this window anymore.
Oh. Swinging out for that. They're really going to have to try and figure out now what to do. They've lost, I said, a very essential operator from Buck. But now it's down to only utility, flank watch, and they've lost the diffuser.
It's not looking good, is it? As ZD's just gone for an absolute hero play, and it's worked out really well to identify there's only one player below. We can get active and find that player as he's 12 and 4. He's absolutely popping off.
Yeah, this is his map, and like we saw with Crazy, if he's going to be the star of that team, and they're going to have to play a little bit more reserved now to try and get these early picks with very little time as well.
DD's just going on some side missions as he finds a third for himself down below, as Bembouli have tried to find a way to deal with him, but they just don't have the answers. And they're going to keep trying to get this kill. They have to acknowledge his presence, but he's going to make his way back to site. The flank's going to come in from the Jaeger too, as it's all left down to the Grim to try and clutch out this 1v5.
You're absolutely right. I feel like ZD did all the side mission before jumping on the main quest. What a C4.
Kobe's in the house.
What a C4. That's like we saw the first round of Chalet. The impact, the Pokeball from basically just missions away, getting the kill. And that one, I believe that's purely down from not shooting a cam as well. If you notice, there was a red ping.
Now it's been, both teams have not allowed or have let through because of the cameras. But I think we are going to be getting a quick rehost here, so I think we will have to take a short tech timeout while we get the lobby back up together. As I think if we just take a look, let's just see what might be happening. But I've got a pretty good feeling that we are going to get a full rehost. We are indeed, so I'll jump it back to us. But now that we've been going into cons, we've seen a few rounds into the attacking side of Bembouli. Do you think they'll be able to run away with it? Do you think GSU have finally warmed up into the series and can start to make the comeback?
I mean, 100%. It's one of those right now where GSU just needs to find their footing, and they did that on the defense. Obviously, ZD has been doing some absolute insane work, and we saw it. Hopefully, if we can see them really use their consulate pick to an advantage, since it is GSU's pick, and Bembouli will have to really work around that. It's 4-3 at the moment, so hopefully, if Bembouli learns that, okay, these guys know what they're doing, it's their pick, we need to play a little bit more passive, we need to try and get the utility down, the drone work down, and really use our operators' abilities to our advantage, we could potentially see them being shifting a little bit from more of an aggressive side to a more passive side.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll jump into a short break and we'll get straight back into it once we've got everybody back in the lobby and the game underway. We'll see you shortly.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back. We've got the game back underway. We do apologise for the delay, but without further ado, let's get the game underway again. We've got Bembouli, who are 4-3 up here on Consulate. Shout out to the players. We are still alive. We had some tech difficulties to get over, but Vicent, are you still alive as well?
Hopefully. But I'm excited to get back into this. We've had some really good defenses and some really critical attacks, so hopefully we'll see a little bit more going into this second half, continuing on round 8.
I'm taking a look at the defensive lineup. I really like what we're seeing here, Vicent. We've got the Cade to borrow to make sure we keep the main wall closed, as we are going to be going back down to the basement for our second defense of the half.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we've got a really good attacking lineup. You've got the utility. You've got a Fuse as well. Got him and Maru as well, make him a little bit quicker. But on the defense, they've gone very, very defensive. You know, very anchor-sided. Two-Brow Cade. They've got the Mute. They've got the Castle and also the Valkyrie as well. So because these some cheeky C4s, because they've got 4 on the board. So a little bit of a minefield that the attack may need to navigate here.
Especially if we can keep those Valkyrie cameras alive, if we place some of them across this mid-floor. As looks like we have got a mid-floor extension as well. We've got Mutant Castle setting up towards this mid-floor area to try and counter this vertical take that Bembouli are looking to set up.
Absolutely, but Maru's already in, trying to take some space. The ping went out. I think this may have been an accidental ping, but we've got 4 people playing upstairs, or 3 people playing upstairs now, and 2 playing downstairs, so they don't really need much of the above, but they've spotted the camp, and they're going to start playing a little bit slow, using the drone for the utility and the intel. So we could potentially see now the top floor being taken, and the execute being planned.
Now it's all about how do we put some pressure on this mid-floor.
Absolutely, you've got 3 people in there. You've got piano being held, closet being held, service stairs also being held. So we could see some really quick gunfights coming out and some potentially good refrags that will probably define the end game.
As you can see on this POV from the Cade, 3 bodies, well 3.5 if you include the Cade, towards this mid-floor as Fuse is going to start to get some of this droning underway. They just haven't droned Expo here yet, as Ram is finally going to get some vert going. I think this is almost a little bit of a waste of a boogie though. They know the piano side is clear. They need to start putting pressure towards that Expo side. The Fuse is just going to go for it. And ZK is going to find the first. Crazy is going to trade it back onto ZD as Valkyrie tries to keep herself alive. Fuse is going to fall as well, as this mid-floor clear just hasn't gone the way that Bembouli would have wanted. We've got a player, ZK, flanking his way up spiral, looking to keep getting aggressive, but the hard work is done. They found the advantage, they've slammed the main bulk of the attack, and now Bembouli in this 4v3. They've got it all to do if they want to try and get this 5-3 split and try and get an advantage in this game. We've got the Valkyrie working her way back to site, and just a lovely shot coming in from Crazy. This guy's doing it all.
He's probably been one of the stars of the last couple of games, being able to get this crucial kill. Oh my.
It's looking a bit hectic in the server as V7's dropped to low HP. There's going to be trades here and there as these defenders are split. We're going to see the castle fall. Will we be able to get the trade from the Ram will be the question as they duel it out. Ram will win that fight with case in hand. Both of these players low HP will drop down into sight, looking for this player, going on a bit of a hunt, doesn't know where this last player is, who's going to have to stick the kit, and this should be an easy pickup for the side of VX. Will save the KD as GSU, they tie it up 4-4.
That was the craziest back and forth. They're getting each other's crucial kills and leaving it to the last 10 seconds as well. Ram having to drop, the Two-Brow giving himself some space, forcing the plant because he needs to roam, get that little clearance going, and having to plant on the last second. It's a crazy win for GSU, but it really could show how these games are going to play out. It's going to be the last seconds, and very close.
GSU, we spoke about it. If they get off to a strong start, if they win the 2 primary bomb sites, they'll tie up the score 4-4, and that's exactly what they've done. Bembouli, they need to find a stop to this momentum that GSU have started, and the Blackbeard might just be the perfect operator. But before we take a look at what the attack lock in, what do you make of the defensive lineup coming in from GSU?
Well, you've got the Maestro, you've got the Fenrir, and you've got the obviously you're going to get the barriers as well from the arena. So we could see a very slow take from Bembouli, because they're going to have to work around those Fenrir F-Nats. They're going to have to work around the Maestros and all the cams, and obviously being able to get takes from about 10 meters away, 20 meters away. But also have to work around the barriers as well from the.
Oh, did we lose you, Vicent? Are you still with us? Well, as Vicent was saying, they've got so much utility they need to deal with, but that's where Slays hopping on the Brother is a direct counter to a lot of this utility. They can hack the Arunis, they can hack the Maestros, and they can also just brute force their way through it with the likes of the Blackbeard Brothers already worked her way towards that archive side, trying to take that map control over towards that area, looking to make their mark in the building as they're looking to go for this pretty standard cross take that we see almost every team going for, as they're going to start to stack up behind the Blackbeard and take this projector side.
I mean, we're going to have to see them hopefully try and use these drones that they've been using to try and clear as much as they can. And we're pairing the intel from the Doki as well, from the calls, pair it with the Ying and the intel from Blackbeard, from live things. We potentially could see a really quick but also really strategic drone play for that vehicle as well.
This is a really long angle that's going to really restrict the movement of these defenders on this top floor, as Crazy's already just worked his way into projector, looking to get aggressive, looking to swing. The Fenrir is going to put a halt on his progress, but look at the info they've got. He's just free to step forward, take this space, because of how aggressive Bembouli has been in taking this top floor. Within the first 2 minutes, they've got this top floor control, and they've got an opening pick as well to make the most of it.
A really crucial pick as well. The one person you need on that team to try and shock the enemy team with the Maestro camps. But the refrag going out as well, taking down the Doki as well, really restricting the intel they can get from the calls. Really put a thorn right now in Bembouli's side. They're going to have to play a little bit more reserved, and the pick going out for Slays as well, taking out the Aruni with that DMR.
And in this 3v3, we've got 40 seconds left on the clock. All the defenders back to back in the site itself. A lovely crossfire set up on Slays, but he will trade himself as Mute finds the swing. But they've still got a Candela in pocket, a nade on the Blackbeard. But ZD is going to go huge, leaving it all down to the Blackbeard in the 1v1. This is where we've seen the 1v1 go the defenders' way already. It's going to be straight up Blackbeard versus the Mute to try and take the lead in this game. Drops down into sight. He's going to go for the plant. Make the Mute come to him. No C4 in hand. The red ping will give his position away. He will get off of it just in time. And here comes the Blackbeard charging forward. The melee is there. And Lurker will find the melee just in time. And that's going to be GSU taking the lead for the first time in this game.
Absolutely. In fact, it's them taking the lead for the first time in both maps so far. So the mental will be absolutely through the roof. They're going to be super happy with how they're playing. They've won one of those sites that Bembouli couldn't even win themselves. So getting that just one round away from match point is going to be really beneficial for the side of GSU.
I think this is now going to be Bembouli's time to take attack timeout, as that's going to be 3 rounds back to back to back for GSU as they ban the Blackbeard out for Bembouli, which is going to make their lives even more difficult. There is still the fuse shield available, but I think this is really good consideration of what Bembouli crutch on to just ban all the shields out.
Absolutely. If you haven't noticed, the side of GSU love using the shotguns, love being able to get those close range gunfights, but also on the attacking side, they're loving the intel. They've pulled out an extra intel operator with Grim, so we could potentially see now a lot more utility going out to try and spot these players so they can get in a little bit more quicker and not having to use 10 to 15 seconds to get a plan down.
Now that we've seen the full rotation, the good advantage for Bembouli is they now understand the holds and the setups from GSU. Now they can start to make their adaptations, and that's why it would have been a great opportunity to take attack timeout and go over how you want to break down these defenses. Because right now, GSU Master are digging in deep, they're keeping themselves organised, and Bembouli they don't have that final edge to get it over the line.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we can all agree that the Tachanka for the defensive side is going to be probably the most like win condition. They've got the shield down, which we probably could see that Warden maybe playing on. We could probably see the Azami or Jaeger playing on that one as well. So it's going to really slow down any form of attack. But on the attacking side from Bembouli, they've brought the Flores as well, expected for the shield, for the Azamis. So it's going to be definitely one that who can get the opening kill and who also can get rid of the more utility the quicker, especially when it comes to the Azamis and the Tachankas as well.
Speaking of opening kills, Azami's playing on a knife edge. ZKA just playing that fine margin of being aggressive enough to bait the attention of the attack, looking to waste time in and around this area, but he's actually managed to escape. He's escaped the pin of the Dokkaebi on that area. They now know that this side of the map is clear and should be able to move in to sort of claim this space and get their attack moving.
So they're getting as much drone work as well, which is really good. They've only got 2 minutes to play with. They got the mute to clear as well, but the Zams falling back from that location, they're wasting about a minute 15 before they manage to retake and really help the side of Bembouli to, slow down a little bit, but also GSU for wasting as much time as possible, which has been right now the problem from Bembouli.
And they've got to the halfway point. They've got map control up to checkers. Now they're just droning out, trying to find out what they can do, which space is free for the taking, and how they can push into the site itself. This 3 key positions, 2 in projector, 1 on the door to long desk, are the key areas to keep an eye on to force the errors out of the defense.
Absolutely. And the Azami is not really wanting to play the desk as well, which is going to be the problem for, oh my word.
Lucker's just traded himself, just doing it all apparently.
And we'd see the Tachanka now going down on default plan to slow it down, as well as really trying to force the Bembouli to try and make a little bit more of aggressive play, probably down key angles. That'll be, the main problem for GSU to hold. But as well, the long angles, you can see all the way back, the Tachanka's holding that extremely long angle, and the Jaeger playing his angle as well onto the small hallway with the feet holes.
They have pivoted the attack here with 20 seconds to go. They're hitting through the projector and long desk area, knocking on the door to the site, but the flank is there from ZKA, is traded out in a 3v3, and this is where the attack's got it all to do. The kill feed lights up orange, just 1 on the cover. Tachanka has fire left, but it's not going the right way as the cover's going to get taken. The plant does get stuck though, so this is a 1v3 post-plant situation, all for Revac to do, as the long arm is going to come in. They're going to start to look to hit this kit, but Grim is going to get down. That's not going to be the 1v3 hero clutch they needed, as that's going to be GSU to claim match point here on Consulate.
Insane teamwork for GSU, doubling up to really force that Grim back and getting the knock and getting that plant as well, and that Tachanka being the pain, causing all those issues, causing the delay that they needed. And you see now 3 rounds in a row that the issue in a timeout.
Now we get attack timeout. Is it too late though?
I don't think it's ever too late to take attack timeout, but when you do, you want to make sure you use it wisely. I mean, taking it on match point is a bit risky, absolutely a bit risky. But their issue right now, Bembouli need to fix is, they're using too much time to clear and not enough time to really try and make an execute, because they're usually doing it on the last 15 seconds to get that plan down.
I think it just leans into the nature of Consulate. I think both of these teams are showing us like how hard it can be to attack Consulate. It seems that both teams in the sort of mid to late round just don't really understand what their late game execute is, because they're just stalling out big time. They sort of get to the knocking point of the site and then just seem to fall apart. They don't have that extra edge to get it over the line. And hopefully Bembouli in this tag timeout, they're going to be able to iron out what it is they need to do to get these rounds over the line in those later positions.
Absolutely. I mean, GSU has been playing the defensive really well. They're using all the utility they brought as intended. The only issue is that Bembouli's also attacking very linear. They're not really spreading out. They're not attacking from different angles. It's all one-sided. And we saw then on that top floor, it was the admin take onto checkers. Only one person really challenged them from that spiral staircase. And if they did, put a little bit more pressure on that spiral staircase, forcing the Izami to play a little bit deeper, playing with the Jaeger, they could have really delayed more time for GSU to try and make the retake so they can get the plant down sooner.
We've seen a Capcan getting brought out, by the way.
Oh yeah, Capcan is if all goes well for Capcan, we could see potentially 1 or 2 kills, because they need to really watch out and really watch the step when using the Capcan. So we could see maybe 1 kill with the Capcan, which is quite funny, to be fair. We'll probably see a little bit of memeing going on in the old chat as well.
As we go top floor again, getting in the building quickly, which we'd love to see from the side of Bembouli. They're sticking with the fuse as well. I really like the use of the fuse for this basement site. But once again, 3 nitros in the lineup for GSU Master. Clearly looking to maybe burn the time, keep the main breach closed with that K to Burrow combination too. But this is really good progress from Bembouli. They've identified some free real estate. And now it's all about how do we deal with the mid-floor extension that we saw again from the previous rounds.
I mean, absolutely. Hopefully, we could potentially see Fuse utilising his cluster charges. Although it's not really an operator you would expect to see, especially with his shield. You don't really see him on the shield much anyway, at all, due to obviously the power of his LMG. They're real good, no recoil plays that you can get out of the AK-12. But he also brings hard recharges, especially for hatches. And also the cluster charger, which are really good for clearing all that non-essential utility, as well as essential utility, especially from the kit.
And look how much time is being burnt. They haven't been able to deal with this mid-floor extension, even from the vert from the 3rd floor. They haven't used the vert on the expo side to clear these castles out. The drones are finally going in, but there's only a minute left, and they still haven't got control of this mid-floor.
Yeah, having 1 minute left on the board, no kills for either team. Oh, that's the curse. ZKA just picking up 2 in a row.
And that's just look at the operators he's taken out as well. 2 of your key execute heavy utility operators taken out just like that. But now it's going to be Slays trying to get active, but it's going to get a DMR to the face. As GSU, their gamble has paid off. They wanted to defend second, and it's worked out so well for them, as it looks like they're going to send us all the way to map 3, unless Crazy's got something to say about it. He's just swinging his way into sight, will get taken out by VX, the anchor of the site. All left down to Revax. Will find the first, 2 more to find to keep his team alive in this second map. It's going to just stick the kit, trying to get away with a bit of murder here, as the 2 GSU players have got full information available on Thermite's position, and they're going to be playing disciplined. They're not going to peek, looking to stick the kit this time again, but they're just not going to take the bait. They know he's off the kit. He's just going to get active, going to try and find the first, but the shotgun's going to shut him down, and we're going all the way to map 3.
That is probably the essential of, let's be honest, as soon as one team takes a timeout, both teams take a timeout. And I think GSU just thought, you know what we'll say is we'll just do the same things, do as we've been playing, and you see a pretty much flawless defense to bring them to map 3 and keep them in this fight.
And that's going to be all she wrote for our map 2, as we just, what a mental map it was. It just took a while for things to kick off, but once it did, GSU really got into a rhythm, and they were just killing it, Vicent. think Vicent's internet like giving up on him, which is really unfortunate. But we are going to be right back with Border as our decider. So don't go anywhere, and we will get map 3 ready for you as fast as we can. So we'll jump to a short break, and we will be back with our decider, which will be Border. We're back. Border is here. We've got everyone in lobby. The game is underway. The good luck have funds are being dropped into the chat. And Border, a very different map to what we've had before, Vicent. How do you think it's going to go down?
I mean, Border is very much like Chalet. If you've got a good attack, you're going to have a good attack. If you've got a good defense, you'll have a good defense. But I think it'll be back and forth. It's one of those maps where if you have a little bit of pressure, you can use it and you can spot a lot of gaps very quickly. But there's a lot of roam clear with how small it is. So the likes of Valkyrie, for example, the likes of Montaigne, those being banned out will be very beneficial for the sides that want to be on defense and sides that want to be on attack more.
I think it's no surprise at this point, Vicent, that the shields have got banned out once again. I think Valkyrie, especially with the amount of pre-placed C4s and the verticality that's on offer here on Border, very reasonable bans coming in for the defense as well. I think the mirror, I'm losing my value in the mirror. I think especially if you just bring in Ash and a couple of flashbangs, you can deal with the mirror in most situations. I think operators like Azami are actually a little bit more annoying to deal with than the mirror, but just I think it's one less key operator you need to deal with, I guess. That makes sense why the mirror has been banned out too.
I mean, absolutely. Those shields, I don't think we've seen a game without a shield ban. We've not seen one without a mirror. We saw it last game and on Chalet. Mirror has just been banned out. But we also have seen a Valkyrie ban on the first map after the round switch. And we could see the exact same operators being banned the third time round as well, which will probably be the Blackbeard, and will more than likely be one of the typical operators that Bembouli has been bringing. But this round has started, and I can't wait to see how this is going to kick off.
This lineup is just carnage. We've got the Lion, the Glaz, and the Blackbeard are standing out to me big time. The Glaz normally screams to me like an A rush. We're going fast into archives, but it looks like they're setting up towards this east side. So maybe going for a CC across. Very common to see. We could use the shield, for example, to absolutely bust into CC and start getting aggressive. As they've got a little bit of info from this fountain cam, looking to get aggressive early. The hollow sight on the Glaz too.
Yeah. Oh my word. As soon as we mentioned his name, I mean,
popping off.
Crazy. Slays is getting very aggressive, especially on the Blackbeard and on the Glaz as well. Knocking each of them to about 50-60 health apiece.
Uh-oh.
Oh my word.
Just forgot the window was open. Okay. Blackbeard drops the shield, punished immediately, but ZKA, he's got the trade. Tagged down to 1 HP, as this is looking good for the defense as they've managed to settle and consolidate themselves into this bunker position.
Absolutely.
What is going on?
The DMR is saying, ZK getting a kill on the DMR. Obviously, the reflex with a little flick as well, straight onto the dome of the Glaz, and also straight after as well, straight onto the Blackbeard. They're just going to play a little bit less aggressive now, take their time. They've got the advantage on defense with both health and... Okay,
where is he going? What is going on? GSU have just found all the kills somehow, as you said, the exact opposite of what needed to happen, because apparently the defenders wanted to get active and they've just got punished for it massively.
It's baffling. They had the health advantage. They had the ability to delay as much as they can with the smoke. But they didn't want to. They wanted to get a little bit saucy, a little bit aggressive, go, you know what, boys, let's have them, and then completely bottled it.
It's gone
insane work.
A bit wrong. It's just got a bit, like, it's just meant, the Glaz just walked past an open window and just forgot there's a guy, like, on the other side of it that they're trying to kill together. Like, what a mental round to kick things off for us.
Very confusing, but maybe that's going to be the round that's really going to set GSU up for the rest of this game. Because Bembouli is bamboozling me. Absolutely bamboozling me.
It's a bit of a madness when it comes to Border, and this is just how Border plays out, right? It's a absolutely crazy map when it comes to fragging out and that kind of nature, but I like GSU's approach to it. They had a purpose for the shield. They wanted to force out that bunker player. They used the Glaz as well to sort of cut the crossfire in half. I imagine they smoked the head holes and found a pick off the back of it as they were pushing that player in CC.
I like the style of play that Bembouli is bringing. If you don't know this setup, it's very similar to what W7M used against Fury in Brazil League. A very slow, tactical one. Force them to use a lot of utility to clear those castles as well, with an extension into break to really slow down the push from all sides of East, which is surely, if utilised correctly and if it plays into what they think will happen with GSU, we could potentially see a lot of time being wasted on this East push.
And I really like the drone work coming in from GSU as well, especially this one in the skylight of Border for open area. It doesn't seem like Bembouli are wise to these drones that are being sent around across the map. And although Border is such a frag heavy map, I really like the fact that we're taking our time and trying to get info on everywhere we're pushing. That way we have an advantage in these gunfights. They're not like straight 50-50s. We have that info as these double castles are providing a bit of a problem for the side of GSU to get in the building.
Absolutely, but I think one issue that I've already noticed is they've got the advantage, but they don't have the head holes to hold the East, to hold the double door into office. So as soon as that office gets taken now, there's nowhere to counter it. They're going to have to get a little bit more aggressive on the defense. And I say that, and it happened. ZK goes down. It's all orange.
It's just the completely orange people falling as the side of GSU, they've just been hit in the face. This is what we've talked about. Bembouli, when they're at their best, they get aggressive together, and it's all down to ZD. He's stuck in, found his first, but immediately traded, as Bembouli have just gone, oh, they're doing an East take. That's exactly where we can get aggressive, retake the space, and GSU, they just can't handle the aggression.
They can't. I mean, whatever decided to go on there, sending the door kit individually, if they send it a little bit earlier, would have been far more essential. Obviously countering the potential deaths that Castle brought to the side of GSU. But at the same time, Bembouli defending super well, getting those crossfires, and you saw it was completely blue benefited from basically 1 minute 30 to 1 minute 15 with no refrags at all.
It's just wonderful stuff from Bembouli to tie up 1-to-1, leaning into the frag heavy nature. And look at Bembouli's lineup. They've gone like full frag mode. They've gone trap heavy, brought the pulse out. They're just leaning into the chaos that is Border. I think this is where for GSU, they need to just be ready for these fights. They just need to understand that Bembouli are going to look to get in their face, look to contest this map control, and just need to have their guns up and be ready for it.
Absolutely. I mean, the Capcan, pair it with the Frost, is going to be absolutely diabolical. They've got the pulse as well for the C-Force from below. They've got the Soulless to counter any plans, but also the Cade as well to delay as much time as possible. And I think it's going to work wonders if it goes how it should. But also you've got a little bit of intel coming out as well on the side of GSU, knowing that there's going to be a potential roam. So we could see a lot of time wasted trying to clear out that Soulless.
It's just going to be down to the gunfights, I think. I think this map is fully just going to be who can frag out the most and who can get active. And I like the choice from GSU Master to bring the Nomad. Hopefully we can use this to reinforce the areas of the map that we've taken and to lock in and really just hold and fight back against the aggression that is Bembouli.
Absolutely. I mean, Bembouli has been one of those teams I think we've seen the entire way through who thrives on the aggression. So bringing these operators plays right into their hands, as well as GSU plays that passive style of siege that we expect to see from a lot of EU teams, but also a lot of Brazilian teams as well. And sometimes passive playstyle, good gun skill plays super well together. And if they play how they should do here, we could potentially see a very balanced half for both of these teams.
I'm looking at Bembouli and I'm not really sure what's going on. They seem to have people everywhere across the map. Maybe trying to create some ghost pressure, really trying to keep the side of Bembouli guessing, but it's not going to work because Crazy he just wins these 50-50.
Absolutely, we've seen from Chalet, he's the 1v1 king, but he's also 1v4. We could see a little bit of fight going on it. Oh,
they're just giving Crazy these 1v1s. We can't keep letting him get away with it.
At this point, you just need to. Oh my word!
They finally shut him down, but we've lost the Nomad and the IQ. We still have the Pulse on the board with 2 C4s in pocket, as there's only a minute left here as well.
Yeah, the stalling from this tactic as well, being super frag heavy as well as being trap heavy as well, really stalls out the attack. ZD goes down with no one, but he's being picked up, but he's only on 20 HP. If he goes down, they're missing a hard breach. And whatever just happened then, ZK just gets picked up, as well as Konix as well from God knows where. It's now hard breach only, and nothing really going to come from it.
I mean, Bembouli they just had to sit back and wait for these fights. As GSU, they've got 15 seconds on the clock to try and find 3. They don't know which way to look. They might find one, finds the first, the trade comes in, all left down to Lulu on the ace with 2-3 seconds on the clock. Shot in the face by the Cade, sitting strong on site. GSU, I don't think they knew what they wanted to do.
I don't think they do either. They stalled out super quickly after they lost 2 people, the IQ as well, in particular, because they couldn't really do anything. They don't know where to go for the Cades. They don't know where the traps are, so they have to be a little bit more cautious. And now we could see a ban due to this round.
It's just, I don't know what ban is going to help GSU here. It seems like they just, after a grueling couple of maps, they've just lost their way a little bit.
I mean, absolutely, they were showed the prowess there on that consulate, on that defense, being able to work the space they've been given. But as soon as they come onto the attacking side, they struggle a little bit. They don't know really what much to do. And it's one thing they're probably going to have to take home from these games, is that the attack they need to work on is to be a little bit more aggressive, use a little bit more utility. Don't stick to the strat just because you've been given the strat. Don't stick to the strat because you need to adapt. And it's one thing we're not really seeing from GSU is adapting to the playstyle just as much as that Bembouli is adapting to GSU.
I really want to see them isolate a fight. We know Crazy is going to be doing crazy things. We see a very aggressive style of play from Bembouli, and the way we punish this is by basically just ganging up on people. We try and find a player that's on his own in a bit of a Narnia situation and just gang up on him. Just send the kitchen sink at him with a couple of players, with a couple of drones, and just guarantee you get that kill, so you're off to a 5v4. Then if you just frag out and you trade the kills, the round will be yours. I think that's where GSU are struggling at the moment. They're just not playing off the back of each other and giving away these 50-50s.
That's absolutely right. When Crazy were upstairs in Capcan, they took the ones, like you said, 50-50s. Like, he is the king of 50-50s. He's got the gun skill, and he had the position to take those 50-50s. But instead of sending 2 or 3 people for him, they send 2 people individually, about 10 seconds apart, giving him time to reset himself and rethink, okay, if I take this guy, what do I need to do next? But they didn't do that. They took the time and allowed him to take those individual ones, giving Bembouli the advantage.
As we move into this 4th round, it is going to be really good progress this time around in comparison to the round before. We've got ourselves into CC. Sledge already gets some vertical gameplay underway. There is, however, nobody below him in this area, so he's going to be sledging onto nothing, as they now need to turn their attention over to this armory side. We've got 3 different players from Bembouli locking in this armory area, and that's where most of the attention is going to be. The sledge comes in, the shotgun is right around, there's a double shotgun right around the corner from the sledge, but Sledge plays it well. He understands he needs to respect this aggression, and we really need Lulu to come over and open this wall up so we can start to dislodge some of these players. And it's just too easy. It is too easy, but there is going to be a trade this time around as the Buck does find one back. But they're still sitting pretty comfortable here on this vertical gameplay.
Absolutely. Sledge did play exactly how you expect him. Be a little bit more reserved. Obviously missing the shots onto Crazy, only winging him in the arm, taking a little bit, about 25 to 30 health off him. But the trade coming out of the tag from absolutely miles away as well.
Just randomly wallbanging and finding a kill. We love it. And now it's a 4v3 with 1 down.
Yeah, they just need to play now. They've got the advantage. So what they need to do is play it. Smoke is down. The chance of a pickup now is out of the window, unless Archives. Oh, never mind. The Melusi now needs to displace. Gets the frags as well. Crazy. Playing the space.
He's won the fight upstairs. They've taken control of this vertical gameplay and then used it against the attackers, because all the attackers, bar one, were hitting the site, and now they just seem unsure what to do. They had a good game plan, send 3 through the site, leave 1 above to hold that verticality, but they've now lost that vertical. Buck's trying desperately to find some access into the site, but Slays is going to cut him down. Finally traded, but they've still got 2 alive with only 10 seconds on the clock. The flashbang, as a desperate hope, swings the corner, shut down as Bembouli. They just get aggressive and keep finding ways back into these rounds.
This is exactly what you want to see from your defense. Playing time, they've dropped the diffuser because it was on someone else other than Buck, and Buck was the one who was playing site. And as soon as that defuse went down, if he didn't notice, they smoked it. With 10 seconds left, he's going to have to play a little bit more aggressive to get that defuse, and it played right into the hands of Bembouli.
It worked out really well for the side of Bembouli as they get aggressive, they get the round over the line, and this is where, especially, again, it's border. This is an attacking sided map, and Bembouli are just racking up the score here on border.
I think this is going to be a Bembouli sided map, purely because of how they're playing. It's like they've experienced this before, they know how to play it. And I did a little bit of research, as mentioned before, and the very first games they had together, this was one of those maps. And Bembouli did take the W against GSU in the very first games of the playoffs. But we could see now the adaptation. They've got the Florizes, they've got the Zolfias now. They're going to play perfectly now because they know this strat, because they saw it on the first defensive round, the W7M light strat. So they will destroy all these now and try and get as much time on the board for themselves as possible.
Oh, we're getting active. We've got Relix going for the spawn peak. He's got the DMR as well. One of the few weapons left that have the ACOG. So if you're going to spawn peak, that's probably going to be the weapon to do it with.
Absolutely, it's one of the. I think it has to be one of the best DMRs. Like, other than the 417, that AR-15 hits like a freight train.
It does hit pretty hard indeed, but he's not going to find anything on that initial spawn peak. We've seen some damage dealt onto Lurker as he makes his entry into bottom east here. Looking to get active, just looking to take some map control as Azami's head can't find it.
Ooh.
As Crazy just beaming people with this SMG-11, but Refix is going to go down elsewhere as that Tabaro is punished without really getting much value out of his utility. But look who's coming. It's going to be that Crazy guy, Crazy himself, looking to get active, looking to swing. It just doesn't seem like Buck knows who to shoot at. There's just so much going on around this east area, but we'll find one. Is going to be immediately traded though, as Bembouli is just going to keep the frags rolling, and that's going to be GSU shut out of the building once again.
I think they need to, you know, kind of frame Crazy's kills at this point. Crazy is really keeping in Bembouli in this game, and we could see potentially him across all these 3 maps being the MVP of the defending sides, because he gets those crucial kills where he can.
Lulu's just found 2 out of seemingly nowhere. Like, Bembouli had done the hard work, but then GSU have just flourished single-handedly with the hero play, and now it's all down to Castle in the 1v3. Just, it's madness, V-said.
Absolutely madness. Lulu is just pulling off these kills and just pulling them out the hat. There we go. ZD picking up Connix to send them closer now to a even half.
We are actually speechless. Like, we can't process what is happening in this game, as both sides just doing crazy things, but that's what we love to see from a border.
If it's not Crazy doing those crazy things, it's Slays. And if it's Slays not doing it, it's going to be someone on GSU, either Lulu or ZD or Lurker, because they're all bringing out the individual hero plays. But half of the time, it's not just being hero plays. They're playing with the team. They're playing for these kills and working with one another. And that's what we saw there. He trapped the castle onto metal, forcing him having to play into sight. And as soon as he did, he went down.
We'll have to see what else these teams have in store for us. Again, it is a 50-50 map, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those maps where it's literally just a coin toss on who's playing better in the moment. And it seems like right now, Crazy needs some help from this team. Castle, as well as the rest of his team, not having a great game so far. As you said, Lisa, just pretty much single-handedly carrying Bembouli and keeping his team in this series.
Absolutely. Right. I don't think I've seen an individual performance just as good as Crazy in a long time. He's been able to get these kills, and you would probably notice yourself, it's always the essential kills. And as soon as he goes down, something stalls out on the side of Bembouli. And already, what is going on?
He just throws massive spanners into the works as we see the entry coming in once again for the side of Bembouli. Against Bembouli this time around. So this is what GSU needed. We are going to see.
Absolutely.
How does he hit these? He's just insane.
This man may need to be signed to T1 already. Like he's finding the kills that are necessary. Lurker, for example, creating that that pressure from the extremities of sight, getting those angles, cutting those angles. They're gonna have to rely on ZKA to do it now, or anyone else with hard breach, because he is gone down, and he was the one who got that initial kill onto Refix.
I think there's been a misdrone onto Castle's position as well, as ZK takes a bit more damage on this east stairs balcony. And just look at GSU, they're just struggling to get any control, but that's a really good pinch coming in. But the trade is there from that misdrone of the Castle. He's looking to get active with the run out. They are ready for it. We'll find one. He thought about going for the second as his ping lets him down just a little bit. But in the snap of your fingers is Lulu, the hero of the last round, left alone in a 1v3, finds the first. But now he's got 2 more to find. Bembouli have shown how disciplined they can be, and they need to be disciplined once again to shut out Lulu, but they're split. He's got an opportunity here to find the first. Sees the head of one, will find it.
Word.
This will be an amazing 1v3 if Lulu can find the second. There is 2 smoke babes in hand for the side of Revac, and he's been there. He's been here, done it before, clutched these situations, but there's no diffuser. He's going to have to work his way over towards this side, which will give away his position as he starts to hit this balcony. And this is all down to Revac to play keep away.
It's the Dr. Lulu, the Super Lulu. He graduated from Doctorate and promoted himself straight to Super. Because what I potentially could see here is a 1v3 situation. He got the kills he needs. He's killed Connix, he's killed Slays, and now he could potentially kill Revac to bring this team to a 3-3 split. Revac knows what's going on. He's going to have to play time and get this kill as soon as he can.
The Smoke Babe should cause a bit of chaos as it allows him to rotate, find these jewels, but the wall bang almost taking Smoke out. He's going to stick the kit again, and this is just the battle of attack to defense. He's going to keep running down the clock. Revac's going to decide, I can go below, I'm going to play keep away, wind down the clock even further. The audio cue is going to give down the chance to push. The barbed wire is going to give away Smoke's position. He's going to choose to stick it. Will find the kill as Bembouli plays it really well. And Revac showing why he is almost a Breed-A level of clutching.
Absolutely. Both of those players performed extremely well. We saw Revac playing a little bit more passive. He knew he had the win condition in his hand. It was both time and the Smoke Babes, and he delayed the time as much as he can to make Dr. Lulu have to take that plant. And well, as soon as he did, obviously we saw what happened. He got a little bit passive, backed off a little bit, had to force a plant within 10 seconds. But we got to give credit to Super Lulu, Dr. Lulu, almost clutching a 1v3 situation against Bembouli. It was some incredible play.
Mental where this game is going. As I think we're going to see the Blitz getting banned out as well from the side of GSU Master, as they want to make sure that Bembouli are not allowed to absolutely run riot with those shields again. They've been doing it over the last couple of maps. We've seen extensive use of the Blackbeard being used, and I love the fact that ZKA is hopping on the alibi. I think they've just let him loose and gone, bro, just go frag. Like, you just go do your thing, go frag, pick an operator you're happy with, and just go kill people.
They just said, you do you, King, get those kills. But we can't really... We need to talk about the Blitz and the Montaigne ban. We've not really seen any operators or any sides really utilise the shield until now. We've got Connix on the shield on Blackbeard, but we're not really... Do we expect to see the shields banned? Probably. We've seen it for the last, 3 maps. Well, it's basically the 3rd map now, so yeah, 3 maps of shield bans. But also, both sides have just been banning out shields. Whether it's part of the strat or the fact that they can't cope with shield, but they're allowing a lot of essential operators still on the board.
I really want to see Bembouli lean into the Ying, the Capital, the Grim. A lot of these execute heavy operators that let you focus a particular area. Those are the key operators that have been left up. Now the shields have been banned away. So we have got the Grim on board as well as the Dokkaebi for the roam clear. But it just seems like we could be bringing more to the lineup, especially for Bembouli, which can play some very organised siege. I'd love to see these like agents of chaos to be used to clear some of these key positions, as we are going to be setting up for an East take with the knock just running around below, trying to make a nuisance of herself.
Yeah, I wanted to mention Knock, but you've already done it. We've got a Knock on the board. One of the operators you don't really see in this tier of Siege, because you don't really expect to see a Knock at all. We've already seen a little bit of gunfight coming out with Crazy losing a bit of health, and so Slays, Connix as well.
Keep in mind, that camera should give away the fact that someone's sneaking up these stairs. What a shot! Lurker's game sense, his spidey senses just telling him that pinch was coming in, as he completely deletes Refix before he even gets a chance to start using some of his utility. And with this east camera still being up, that's probably where the call came from to start pre-firing that window.
Absolutely, that was an absolute play of the kill, just flicking onto that single window. With one of the most power positions, Crazy getting taken out. It took out Super Lulu.
This is just where they're just stuck. Like they can't get out of east. They don't know where to duel, who to fight, as Crazy kicks things off for us. As ZKA is going to keep the ball rolling, and with Blackbeard on low HP as well, they're really struggling to get anything going. I think they have a small understanding that there might be one tucked into this fountain position. He's just trying to find his way. Slay's trying to get the angle, working off his Blackbeard. There's shotgun in hand for the Mute as the swing does come in. Left to half HP as Lurker's going to find one. The Mute goes prone, hits the deck, staying alive to give GSU a fighting chance as it's 4v2, but with the AK-12, anything's possible.
Yeah, Lin damage really come out there to save the Mute. Only taking about half a health with about 12 bullets from the Doki's SMG-12. What we could really see now is a little bit more passiveness from Bembouli and trying to make a plan on how to take on site.
Do we use this as a mini tag timeout, or do we just kind of bait and see what happens? See if GSU want to get active like we've seen them do before. We have seen rounds where defenders just want to chill out and just hold tight as Ace just completely shut out by the smoke grenade. The C4 is burned as well. So that's going to be all the denial as the swing comes in. Ace is going deep and punished for it as VSX is going to find both. And that's going to be GSU cutting the deficit in half once again.
Indeed. Some extremely good plays from GSU to try and keep themselves in the game. Not really giving them much space to Bembouli as they wanted. But still, in the end, really, holding on as much as they can. You saw that the Mute sat on that hatch, trying to, delay time, trying to force the Doki to really try and get as much damage dealt, but also waste time because she's downstairs. It's going to take at least 20 seconds to get back up to support Ace. But that smoke as well, forcing Ace out of position, giving them the kills. You can't ask better from a defense, and as you said, cutting that deficit in half once again.
And this is where GSU, if they can just keep these opening picks going, if they can keep being aggressive and fighting for this map control, it's looking really good for them. I think Bembouli were almost taken by surprise how aggressive GSU wanted to be in fighting for that map control.
Absolutely. And you can see yet again a very similar style of play coming out of GSU. They've got the 2-roll for the hatch, they've got the Mutes, they've got the K's, they've got the Valkyries, and also the Warden. So if you haven't noticed, there's 5 nitro cells on the board as well. So we could see a little bit of a, mind clearance going on for Bembouli. Also a lot of kills and a lot of time waste as well.
Lots of explosive power in the lineup, ready to be used against this Bembouli side. As look at the Bembouli, they've brought 2 shields along. Is this going to be the answer Bembouli need to take this map control and start getting these entry frags? As the Blackbeard and the shield pistol is going to be a great combination if you're looking to get aggressive and take this map control.
Absolutely. I mean, Revax on one of the operators that I personally would also get onto this take as well, because being able to utilise Fuse,
is always good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you can waste a lot of utility, especially forcing operators out of positions, but as well, you're basically playing, a little bit more offensive siege. Oh, crazy, taking out Super Lulu as well.
We're just walking in. Slays is just getting aggressive, but he's going to get punished. Crazy's going to get punished as well, as I think Bembouli have just got overzealous. They've just tried to find their way in and get active, and have just been slammed in the face for it.
This is from right now from GSU. It's perfect siege. You're not giving up space, but you're also playing as reserved as you can and utilising intel from the cams.
It's just an inkling, and look at the patience finally rewarded for the Blackbeard, but the rest of his team have fallen. There's only 2 of them left. They've got 3 players to find, as GSU are just ready for this aggression. I think GSU finally realised how to react to Bembouli's playstyle, and that's what's let them anticipate this aggression.
Yeah, all they need to do now is play a little bit more reserved. You've still got a shield on the board for Bembouli. You've still got the IQ, but also you've got a 2. You've also got a Valkyrie and a Warden, with still a Nitro on the board as well for that condition.
It's just the Blackbeard left. He's going to have to drop the shield. He's going to have to try and get aggressive if he wants to clutch this out. And this is the downside of bringing the shields. You're basically 2 guns down, and now you need to get the last gun active. He's going to have to try and isolate these ones. I think he knows that 2 are above, but they've all made their way back down to site, ready to support each other. And that's going to be a freebie for the Warden, as GSU Coming back from 2 rounds down, they tie it up 4-4.
I mean, hopefully we could see a little bit more passion from Bembouli, try and work around the strats that GSU's pulling, but we could see 3 of the same operators now on GSU. But we really should now see a tactical timeout. Bembouli has lost 2 rounds continuously on this attack, and really need to try and figure out what's going wrong. But never mind, we possibly should be getting either a rehost.
We'll have to see. Can he reconnect? Can he get? It is going to be a full rehost. So I think we're going to have to jump it back to us. Hang out with us while we get this lobby back together again. As unfortunately, these players, they just can't hack it when it comes to keeping their hardware together. Unfortunately,
Indeed.
not ideal. Not ideal.
But we're still seeing some great siege for these 8 rounds, which we could hopefully see carry on into the future after the rehost. But hopefully they could use this little bit of 3-5 minutes of rehost to try and figure out a new plan of attack.
Fingers crossed for them, as they're gonna have to fix the hardware. They need to get it back together, and then they can also take it as a tack timeout and get things back together. But I think we'll jump to a short break, and then we'll come back as soon as we can get this last map underway again. Hello, we're back. Take two. We're back. We have some news. So unfortunately, for the side of Bembouli, they have a player who is having some internet issues, and they are going to be forfeiting map 3. That means a big congratulations to the side of GSU Masters. They will be your ELC Fall Series 6 Major Division champions. Holy, that was a mouthful.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in your position when I say that, but I mean, both teams played extremely well. It's unfortunate that it's going to go to a 4v5 or forfeit, and they unfortunately had to do a forfeit. But we saw some very entertaining games and very good cast as well. I think we've done.
I think we did all right. If we pat ourselves on the back just a little bit, I think we did okay coming in when we did. But is there any final words from yourself? Is there anybody to thank Vicent before we head off?
No, but appreciate you for letting me cast with you. Been a privilege, to say the least. But as well, I just want to say, I think Crazy, hands down, player of this game. Like, he absolutely
was
nuts.
Popping off.
He was absolutely nuts.
To say the least.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for the cast, Guns. Pleasure being here with you.
Well, I want to give a massive thank you to everybody watching. We appreciate you as always. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening with myself, Guns, joined by the lovely Vicent. Massive thank you to all the staff over at ELC as well for putting these tournaments on and having something for us to cast. So, big congratulations to the side of GSU Masters as well, as they will be your champions once again. So, I hope you had fun. Thank you very much for watching, and that's going to be me and Vicent signing off. So have a good one, guys.
See you in a bit.